If you hold crypto on an exchange, you should really be paying attention to what's happening in Europe because tomorrow, July 1st, marks one of the biggest crypto laws or crypto regulations that they have ever passed called MiCA or Markets in Crypto Assets regulations. And it's really affecting how the entire crypto market is working, at least over in Europe. But that's not to say that you shouldn't consider how it could eventually affect wherever you live as well because a lot of countries will look to other countries for examples when it comes to regulations that they're implementing. So with MiCA specifically, it takes effect tomorrow across Europe, and Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange in the world, has already started or previously started warning their users in those affected countries to remove their crypto from the exchange. Now, the reason they're telling them that is because Binance did not get the new MiCA license that is required to continue operating after July 1st. And they're not the only exchange. So this new MiCA license, think of it as the new crypto rule book for Europe, right? Before MiCA, each individual, you know, country, they had their own rules of how they wanted to handle different crypto things, right? MiCA is requiring one license to operate across all of Europe. If you don't have that license, you're not able to offer pretty much all of the services that crypto exchanges are known to offer, such as, buying crypto, trading crypto, staking, earning rewards, and all those things. So, out of the 1,200 ish different crypto companies that are currently operating in Europe, last I heard, only about 210 of those companies has required this new MiCA license. And Binance actually withdrew their application. They had one, I believe, is in, I don't remember to be honest, but they had one, they withdrew it, and now they don't have a license to operate in many parts of Europe. As a result, a lot of things, you can't do a lot of things on Binance. So you can't trade crypto, you can't buy crypto, they can't onboard any new users. And they have been sending out messages to those affected users telling them this is basically your option. All you're going to be able to do after July 1st is withdraw your crypto. So you can sell it and you can withdraw it. You can basically only exit Binance. That's their only option at this point. Their first recommendation is that you should be withdrawing your crypto to a self custodial wallet, which we'll get to here in a second of why that probably is their first recommendation and why that's so important. The other option is they could send their crypto to another exchange. One question that I kind of have is, well, what about all the people who have their crypto staked on Binance? They didn't give clear expectations on what's going to happen to people who have their crypto staked. My guess would be that the funds are going to be safe, but the actual staking will probably be discontinued, and then the users can decide to do whatever they want with the crypto they had staked and any staking rewards. Now, the one thing I want to point out is just because Binance will no longer be able to offer these services until they get this new license, they did say that everyone's crypto is still secure. If you want to leave it on Binance, you can, but it's just literally going to be sitting there doing nothing, and you can't do anything. You can't create any buy or sell orders, none of that. Um, and there's no time frame of when Binance will get this new MiCA license to continue operating again. This is a new regulation for Europe. Now, why this is so important for the rest of us who aren't in Europe, and why it's kind of going viral on X, or formerly known as Twitter right now, and why a lot of hardware wallet companies are talking about it, is because self custody, which is transferring your crypto to a hardware wallet, has always been thought of more from a security aspect, right? They're used to protect your funds from hackers and scammers. But now we're starting to realize that it's also a way to protect your crypto from these regulations. Crypto is going through a growth phase, and there's a lot of growing pains right now because of these regulations. Uh, you know, and we have the Clarity Act coming up and everything. But it's actually being used to kind of navigate the downsides of these regulations, like we're seeing with the new MiCA law that's taking effect tomorrow in Europe. Because the reality is, if you hold your crypto on an exchange, as we found out with Binance, and some new regulation kicks in, it can completely change how you can use that exchange or can't use that exchange. In the case of Binance, they can't get any more users, and the current users they have, they can't do jack squat on the exchange. Um, and that's the reality of when you let someone else custody or control your crypto, which is exactly what everyone is doing. If you have crypto, whether you're just holding it on something like Coinbase or you have it staked on Coinbase or Binance or Gemini, Kraken, Robinhood, whatever it is, as long as your crypto is there, you're not in control of that. Someone else has control over that. Ultimately, it's the government because the crypto exchanges have to follow and play by the government rules. So if they're not abiding by these rules, it's not only is a crypto exchange affected, but so are their users. And Binance has, millions and millions of users. They do billions of dollars in transaction volume, and even they are not immune to these new regulations. So the reality is, the only way to truly own your crypto and be in full control of your crypto, so that these regulations don't directly affect what you can do with it, is to own the keys to your crypto. And the only way you do that is you move your crypto to a self-custodial wallet, which is exactly what Binance is recommending to a lot of their EU users. That was the in the message. The first recommendation is transfer your crypto to a self-hosted wallet, is what they called it. And a lot of people, fortunately, have taken that advice. But just because that's only happening in Europe, I think we should be thinking ahead and consider how these future regulations could affect your crypto if you have it sitting on an exchange. Now we'll have to figure the rest out later, right? Just because your crypto is sitting in a cold wallet doesn't mean that things will be easy, but it does mean you will at least be in full control of your crypto, so you won't be limited to who you can send it to, or how it needs to be sent, because you're the only one who controls that. Whereas if it's on a crypto exchange, if the crypto exchange decides you can't send crypto, you can't withdraw it, FTX, it just freezes all of a sudden or shuts down, you're the one that gets screwed over. And we have so many examples of this in the past. And FTX is probably just one of the most popular and most recent ones. Um, but like a lot of the crypto companies that were operating in Europe before this MiCA law, is going to take effect tomorrow, a lot of them have completely exited the European market. So they're no longer operating in Europe. That is also kind of a red flag. Like, why are they completely exiting the European market and avoiding getting this new MiCA license? Now, the point of the MiCA license, what they say, is to protect the users, right, from scams and fraud and things that can go on exchanges, right? So, of course, just like every regulation, is to protect the people, um, which I'm sure there is some truth to that. Obviously, there are pros and cons to regulations, but the fact that a lot of crypto companies are completely leaving the market to avoid getting that is also kind of a red flag. Like, what are they hiding something? I don't know. It's something to consider. Again, out of the 1,200 plus crypto companies operating in Europe, last week, only 210 of those companies had gotten this license. So yeah, and that's another mistake I see a lot of people make. They put 100% of their trust into crypto exchanges. A lot of people say, "Oh, Coinbase would never do me wrong. They're the one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world." Well, maybe if Coinbase didn't even do you wrong, maybe the regulations could, right? Again, Binance, it's the biggest crypto exchange in the world. They do the most transaction volume by far out of any crypto exchange. They have more users than any crypto exchange. And here we are, starting tomorrow, they cannot offer 99% of their services across Europe. That's an issue. If that doesn't scare you and that doesn't make you want to take control of your crypto, I mean, there's nothing else I can tell you. Um, but to me, that would be unacceptable, and I don't see why that couldn't happen, here in the US or wherever you live. Um, but the thing is with crypto exchanges, they're trying to make it easier for people to enter crypto, of course, but the result of that is we're turning crypto into a centralized kind of place, whereas crypto is supposed to be decentralized. You're supposed to be your own bank, Only you are supposed to be in control of your crypto. You decide what happens with your money. But the majority of people enter crypto through crypto exchanges and they end up staying on exchanges, not knowing that they're giving up the whole foundation of why crypto was created, which is to be your own bank and to not need a middleman just to transact and to send money and spend money. So by keeping your crypto on an exchange, you are giving up all of that, and that's before this regulation even took place. That has always been true. Um, and if you go to like Kraken's website, which is another popular crypto exchange, it literally says on their website, Kraken is not a savings institution, and crypto exchanges are not even crypto wallets. In other words, crypto exchanges are not actually meant to hold crypto. They're meant to be an on ramp or a place for people to initially enter into crypto, as well as an off ramp or a way to exit crypto. Right? If you want to sell your crypto and get back into the fiat world. That's what crypto exchanges are meant to be for. They were never meant to be a place to hold crypto. The only reason crypto exchanges want you to hold crypto on their exchange is so that they can make money. That's part of their business model, which again, I get it. It's a business. But Coinbase, for example, they offer incentives like, rewards and yield and different staking things. And a lot of exchanges offer this too. But Coinbase specifically, they have this offer where if you hold USDC on their exchange, which is a popular stablecoin, they offer like a 3.5% APY. Well, they have a deal with Circle, who is the issuer of that stablecoin, that they earn 100% of the interest that's made from that USDC on the exchange. They keep 100% of that interest, and they also keep 50% of the interest on USDC that is circulating outside of the exchange. So just from users holding their crypto, their USDC on Coinbase, they're making billions of dollars every single year. And you get, a 3.5% APY, which, maybe that's good for you, maybe it's not good, but a lot of people don't understand what they are giving up just to get that, which is complete control and ownership of their cryptocurrency. And I expect to see a lot more growing pains as crypto space continues to mature. A lot of us want to see regulation. We want to see the charts go up. We want our bags to pump. Just know that doesn't come without growing pains. And I think MiCA is a perfect example of that. And if what I'm doing and what I've been doing is I have removed all my crypto off the exchanges. I did this about 4 years ago. I used to hold crypto on Coinbase and a couple other exchanges until I had a bad experience on one and realized, oh, okay, if I keep my crypto on the exchange, I don't actually control it. Basically, what ended up happening is I bought some ETH. I bought a couple $1,000s worth of ETH, and they froze my funds for it was like a little over 30 days. Then that was literally my money. Like I got my paycheck, I put it in an ETH because I was going to do something, and then I couldn't access it for 30 days. That was the moment where I was like, okay, I'm never going to keep my crypto on an exchange again. And that kind of stuff continues to happen until to this day. But I'm saying with these regulations, now more than ever, it is more important to get your crypto off of the exchanges. And I'm not saying a lot of people, take this out of context of what I'm actually saying. I'm not saying to stop using crypto exchanges. It's possible, but it's pretty difficult to do in today's world. If you're in the crypto space, you kind of have to use crypto exchanges to some point. My point is to limit your exposure to crypto exchanges by not keeping your crypto on the exchange. So the way that I do it, if I'm buying crypto, I buy it on an exchange, and as soon as it's available to send, I send it all to my cold wallet, and that's where it stays until I decide to do something else with it. If I am taking profit and I want to put it back into my bank account and turn it back into fiat, sometimes I'll sell it from my cold wallet, like directly from my cold wallet. Oftentimes I'll send it back to an exchange and I'll sell it there, and that's not an issue. But during that time, a lot of us hold crypto for years. During that time, while your crypto is sitting on an exchange, whether that's for a few months, a few years, it is at risk. And now it's not just at risk of the exchange being hacked or, shutting down or some kind of backdoor or, rogue employee. Now we have to worry about regulations affecting us as well. So again, I'm not saying stop using crypto exchanges. I'm saying stop treating your crypto exchange as your savings account. It is not a savings account. And all the things that you can do on a crypto exchange, like staking, earning yield, you can do all that from your cold wallet, while without giving up control and ownership of your crypto. You can do all that from your own wallet. So you don't need exchanges. They make you feel like you need them. You don't. Again, there might be a little reliance on them to buy and sell crypto. There are peer-to-peer marketplaces where you can technically buy and sell crypto without an exchange. Um, but 99% of people aren't going to use those and don't use those. So the way that I do it is kind of, there's a sweet spot for everyone, but the way that I do it, use a crypto exchange to buy and sell, maybe trade if you're trading, uh, but don't hold your crypto on the exchange, because if you hold your crypto on the exchange, it's not your crypto. If you don't own a hardware wallet, which most people don't, a study done in 2023, less than 10% of crypto users actually own or even know about a hardware wallet. I would guess that number is even lower now, um, just from what I've been seeing, because a lot of people are still landing on the channel and asking about self custody, and they're like, "Oh, is Coinbase a cold wallet?" I'm like, "No, Coinbase isn't a wallet at all." Coinbase has their own wallet, and Coinbase uses hardware wallets to, as part of their security protocol, to secure their funds and customer funds. But no, Coinbase and any other crypto exchange or crypto app is not a cold wallet. It's not a hardware wallet. Um, so now more than ever, self custody is important, and that's why I'm. As many of you who watch this channel know, I am all in on self custody. I might be a little more extreme or strict than some people. I know there's still some people who hold their crypto on exchanges. Maybe it's like a small percentage or whatever. Do whatever you want. It's just I've had enough bad experiences and have talked to enough people here on the channel and have worked with people who have had terrible experiences that I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I kept my crypto on an exchange. Uh, During a live stream last month, we had one of our subscribers. His account his account got locked on Coinbase. He had $25,000 on it, and then Coinbase shut down his account with that money still in it. Now, sure, there's probably a way to get that back, but at the point when he left that comment, he was basically out $25,000, even though he was using a reputable, trusted crypto exchange, right? Um, So if you do need a place to start with cold wallets, or you don't have a cold wallet, or you want to finally make the jump, there's really two wallets that I recommend depending on your experience level and how comfortable you are with technology. But Tangem would be the first one. Tangem is just a card-based wallet. The only thing you need to use it is your phone. This is the one that I usually recommend to beginners. It's what most beginners end up going with on the channel. I have my full step-by-step user guide on how to set up a Tangent wallet and transfer your crypto from the exchange to it down in the description of this video. Another one, though, also, I have a link to Tangent in the description. You can get 20% off your wallet, plus they're giving away free Bitcoin with every purchase, so you get free Bitcoin guaranteed. That deal is still going on. Also, Ledger wallets, which is Ledger's the first wallet I started with back in 2020. This exact one I'm holding was my first hardware wallet ever, the Ledger Nano X. Not their best one anymore, but it is still an option. But basically, they're having a deal right now where you can get up to $80 in free Bitcoin, depending on which wallet you get, using the link in the description. So there's the Ledger Nano Gen 5. That's the one that I'd probably recommend. It's their entry-level touchscreen wallet. They all offer the same level of security. I personally like the touchscreen ones because they're easier to navigate and use. But the cool thing about Ledger is they work with both your phone and computer. And again, you can get anywhere from $10 to $80 depending on which model you buy. And the way that works is you'll receive a physical Bitcoin voucher with your wallet. It'll have like a scratch off code. When you get the wallet, you'll enter it into Ledger Live or the Ledger Wallet app, and you'll be able to claim that Bitcoin. As far as with the Tangem free Bitcoin, you'll get an email right after your purchase. Make sure to check your spam folder with instructions on how to claim that. But these are the two wallets that I continue to use even today. I've been using Tangem for 3 years, Ledger for 6 years. Trezor is another good option. I don't think they have any sales right now, but I also have a Ledger wallet setup guide similar to the Tangem one down in the description. So literally everything you need to get your crypto off the exchanges and self-custody your crypto is down in the description. Of course, There's a lot of different wallets to choose from. Just out of my experience testing over 40 different crypto wallets over the last 6 years, I would say Tangem, Ledger, Trezor are my top ones, and they've been around a lot longer than most of the other exchanges. Like Trezor was the OG in 2013, I believe. Then we had Ledger in 2014, and then Tangem hit the market in 2017. And they all have a pretty good track record. No one's perfect, but moral of the story: crypto exchanges are not a place to hold your crypto. If you hold your crypto on an exchange, it is not your crypto. And not only are exchanges the main targets for hackers, and I'm talking like the real hackers, like nation state, North Korean Lazarus hackers, right? Like the guys whose job it is to hack these exchanges. Exchanges are the targets. It's not the individual users who's sitting at home with a Ledger hardware wallet who have one Bitcoin stored on it or whatever it may be. Those are not the targets for these hackers. The way that the cybersecurity works and kind of like hacking, at least the how I understand it, is when they're looking at what to hack, they look at how much time, um, money, and resources it's going to take to hack something, and if all of that is worth the effort, right? It's not worth a hacker's effort to try to hack an individual's hardware wallet to gain one Bitcoin because that could take years, if ever, right? What would make more sense and what we've been seeing a lot just in these last couple months is a lot of crypto exchanges are getting hacked. I'm talking for tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. The crypto exchanges are the pot of gold for hackers. Um, and I would like to think that the more popular exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, that they have stricter security and better security protocols. But just know, not only are you less secure keeping your crypto on an exchange, but you don't actually own it. And now we have to worry about the regulation side of things, where as these regulations are taking effect and coming into play, that's affecting how the users can use the exchange. If the crypto exchange isn't in compliance with the new rules, which is exactly what's happening with MiCA, the user gets screwed. It always goes back to the user. Uh, what we've always seen is the user almost always gets the crap end of the stick. They either get locked out of their crypto or they lose their crypto completely, or they lose their crypto initially and then, there's a big lawsuit and then that takes years to get figured out. And eventually they might get some of their crypto back or maybe all of it, but maybe by that time crypto has crashed or the price has gone down. And they don't get it at the USD value, they get it at the crypto value. So if they had one Bitcoin and their funds were frozen when Bitcoin was $125,000, and then they get it back a year later, they're not getting $120,000 back. They're getting one Bitcoin back. So if one Bitcoin's $45,000, that's what they're getting. So just something to keep in mind. So yeah, it's also another thing that that's happening in Australia, which I didn't even mention, is the crypto travel law. Recently, and maybe if there's some Aussies on here watching the live, if you could confirm or not, but on X, I've seen a lot of Australians are rushing to withdraw their crypto off exchanges because this new crypto travel law is taking place, which basically has you it forces you to KYC every single crypto transfer that you're doing on centralized crypto exchanges. So whenever you send crypto, like if you send crypto from one exchange to another, or even from the crypto exchange to your cold wallet, your personal information is actually sent in a private messaging system to the other exchange. So what a lot of Australians were withdrawing their crypto before this took effect. I forget when it takes effect. Maybe it already has, or maybe it's also tomorrow. Uh, but that doesn't happen in self custody. There's no tracking going on as far as your personal information. Self custody is just you, the blockchain. You can send crypto freely. There's no KYC. You don't even know your name. It's just a wallet address on the blockchain. So that's another thing that's been going on. Again, these regulations are not just happening in other countries. It's affecting crypto worldwide. And I think it's worth looking at what's going on in crypto in other parts of the world to get an idea of where the overall crypto market and regulations is headed. because eventually we're all going to come to a similar conclusion when it comes to crypto, because that just seems to be how it usually works. That said, I want to jump over to the chat and take some questions. By the way, if you're watching this later, make sure to check out this video next, where I show you the exact method that I've been using to secure my crypto for the past 6 years. This is literally my step-by-step playbook. Check that out next. But let me jump over to the chat, see what's going on. Hope everyone is having a happy Tuesday. I'll start with Alex Ryder. Alex says, maybe I'll just take the higher prices of ATMs, but preserve my free man dignity. Absolutely. Aiden says, dang. Yep, and this is just the beginning of it, Aiden. Osada says, a bit late. It's already the 1st of July here in Australia. So, yeah, it's a good point. I mean, this has pretty much already taken effect. MiCA law, again, MiCA is specific to Europe. Osada, I'd be curious if you heard about the crypto travel rule and if that's affected you at all. 6373 says, do you know if Binance will cancel its services in Germany? I haven't heard anything about Germany specifically, but if there are any users that are affected, whatever countries that users are affected, Binance should have sent you an email. Now, of course, be cautious of spam emails. There shouldn't be any links that you have to click, or don't click any links in your email, but definitely check your spam folder for emails from Binance. And really, it should just be like recommendations, kind of what's happening and what's going on. In fact, I do have a tweet or a post from Richard Teng, who is the CEO, co-CEO of Binance. I can pull that up here real quick. Publicly available on X, by the way. But Richard says he posted this today at 8:43, so this is about 4 hours ago. As we navigate the MiCA transition, I want to reassure our affected users that our priority remains supporting them responsibly. User assets remain safe and secure. After July 1st, affected users will continue to have access to the options communicated to them, including withdrawals. Again, with the new MiCA law taking effect, Binance is in the European Unions is really limited to allowing you to exit your crypto position. So withdrawing your crypto and selling your crypto, that's all you can do on Binance in the European Unions after July 1st. He also said, we are communicating directly with affected users on the next steps and the options to them. For account-specific questions, users should contact Binance customer support through official channels. Our focus remains on giving users clarity, continuity and confidence as we work through this period. In other words, just a nice way of saying, hey, we're kind of screwed right now, but we are trying to be transparent about it, which at least they did warn users ahead of time. But nonetheless, it's a huge red flag. This should be your huge warning to get your crypto off exchanges, in my opinion. David says, is it safe to make a contract inside the Tangem cold wallet? David, I can assume what you mean. I don't know what you mean by make a contract. If you're talking about signing contract approvals with your Tangem wallet, I don't recommend doing that with really any hardware wallet or any wallet that is your main cold storage wallet where you keep the majority of your crypto. You should not be using that to sign contract approvals, because you risk signing a malicious transaction approval. And basically, if you sign a malicious transaction approval, you are literally inviting and allowing a scammer to come into your wallet and take your crypto. If you are interacting with a lot of different DeFi platforms where you are signing these different smart contracts, either use a hot wallet to do that has a minimum amount of crypto on it, or use a separate cold wallet that is designated solely for riskier crypto transactions. Do not use your main cold storage wallet to sign smart contract approvals. That is just my personal opinion. That's what I've been doing for the past 6 years. I've never been hacked. Whereas I know a lot of people, if you jump on Reddit right now and you go look at hardware wallets, Ledger, Trezor, Tangem, all those posts that say, hey, my hardware wallet was hacked, that's because those people either revealed their seed phrase, which most of us know not to do, or the ones that say, I never shared my seed phrase, they signed a malicious transaction approval. That's exactly what happened. And the thing with malicious transaction approvals especially what we're seeing now more than ever with AI, is even a lot of these contracts that were safe, last year, if you sign an unlimited spin approval, which basically grants that blockchain contract indefinite access to that specific address in your crypto wallet, these contracts are now being exploited. There's bugs in them, and people are still losing crypto. If it's not the actual company or project that's losing crypto, like individual wallets are now losing crypto. That's why you want to keep that completely separate from your main cold storage wallet. It doesn't matter if you're using Tangem, Ledger, Trezor, whatever it is. Don't use your main cold wallet for that. Kelly McBride says, "What did I miss? What happens on July 1st?" July 1st, the MiCA law takes effect in the European Union, which is basically Europe's crypto rule book, if you will. And now crypto companies are not able to operate in the European Union without a specific MiCA license, which is technically designed to protect users. But the main story is that Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange in the world, did not get this MiCA license. So they are unable to offer basically all of their services starting tomorrow, or depending on what part of the world you're in, maybe it's already started. But July 1st, they're not able to offer many of their services: buying crypto, uh, trading crypto, staking crypto, onboarding new users. No one can join Binance in the European Union right now until they get this MiCA license. And out of the 1,200 crypto companies operating in Europe as of last week, only 210 of them got this new license that is required to continue operating at full capacity in the European Union. And a lot of crypto companies have completely exited the European market because of this specific law. As a result, Binance was sending messages to affected users, telling them to remove their crypto from the exchange if they basically want to have control of their crypto. Those users who have crypto on Binance, it's still going to be safe. They can still access and withdraw that crypto, but that's all they can do. They can't buy more crypto. They can't trade it. They can't stake it. All you'll be able to do is withdraw your crypto. So they were recommending withdrawing your crypto to a self-hosted wallet, or in other words, a self-custodial wallet, which would be a hardware wallet like Tangem, Ledger, or Trezor. Kay Senna says, hi Cyber, is Kraken affected in Europe? I believe Kraken did successfully get the new license, as did Coinbase and OKX. So a lot of crypto exchanges have already secured the new MiCA license to continue operating. But that doesn't change the fact, Kay Senate, that if you have crypto on an exchange, that is not your crypto, and you are not in control of that crypto at all. It is in the hands of the exchange. It is held in their wallets. They own the keys to the wallets. You do not own that crypto. You don't control it. You are still at the hands of the exchanges, who are at the hands of the regulators, the government, right? Crypto exchanges, and Kraken admits it on their website. You can literally go look at this. They say we are not a savings account, and crypto exchanges are not even crypto wallets. In other words, they're not even meant to hold crypto. So Joel says, thank you for all the info you share with us. Your advice and honesty is very much appreciated. Of course, Joel. Thanks for joining the live stream. Kelly McBride says, I keep my crypto in a cold wallet, but I do my weekly deposit, weekly DCA, because the fees are higher. I make a few purchases and leave it on the exchange for a few weeks. Then I make a bigger deposit. If that's what works for you, Kelly, then that's fine. It sounds like ultimately you are transferring your crypto to a cold wallet and you're not leaving it on the exchange for too long. But that's exactly, in my opinion, how you should be doing it. Since crypto exchanges are not for storing crypto, I'm not saying to stop using crypto exchanges. I'm saying to use crypto exchanges as they were designed to be used. You can buy crypto on them, but once you buy crypto on them, after a week or however long amount of time, send your crypto to your cold wallet for safekeeping until you're ready to, do something else with it. If you ever need to sell your crypto, you can sell it directly from your cold wallet, or you could send it back to the exchange and sell there. It's really up to you. But my main message is reduce your exposure to crypto exchanges by not storing your crypto on the exchange, which it sounds like that's what you're doing. So Denton says, Coinbase donates to the IDF, don't use them. I personally don't use Coinbase because I think they're one of the worst crypto exchanges. Their fees are the highest. They're the most sensitive when it comes to locking accounts, freezing funds. Yeah, not an exchange that I'll be using. What happens if you manage to move the funds to a harder wallet after this cutoff, say 1 to 2 days after? Does that change any reporting to the EU? As far as I know, that doesn't change any reporting. And the July 1st deadline is really just for the what you can do on the exchanges who don't have the MiCA license. You will still be able to withdraw your crypto after July 1st. So if you know the 4th of July comes and you want to move your crypto that day, you can. That's fine. But until that point, you won't be able to do anything with that crypto. Again, the only thing you can do with it is withdraw your funds. Also, depending on where you have your crypto held, like this is specifically talking about Binance. But as I mentioned, a lot of these crypto companies are exiting the European market. Um, to me, that's kind of scary. Like, are they just shutting down and closing up shop and users are losing their crypto? Are they running away with the crypto? I don't know. I haven't heard any specific reports or anything of that happening, but it has happened in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. If a company uses this new regulation as an excuse to like, sorry, we're closing down shop. See you guys later, and then they just disappear. Right? I'm not saying that has happened with this specific MiCA law, but it has happened in the past. So, Charmed says, "Yep, my account on Uphold was also frozen on June 3rd last month." Yeah, so crypto exchanges freeze funds all the time. It's part of their uh, of the laws that they have to follow. They follow strict AML, anti-money laundering laws, and things like that. So having your funds frozen anywhere for 3 to 7 days is very common on most crypto exchanges: Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com. All of them will hold your funds to some degree. Um, the most important thing is once your funds are available, you transfer them to a cold wallet. Now, if they're holding your funds for longer than, a 3 to, let's say, 9-day period, there might be something else going on. Uh, and if there's no date or ETA of when your funds would be available to access, that could potentially mean that you are being investigated by the exchange. And again, the exchanges have to follow these strict AML laws. And if they file a suspicious activity report or a SAR, they are legally required to not disclose any of that information with the user. So if you are being investigated because you bought some sketchy cryptocurrency, or you're interacted with a wallet who maybe is a malicious wallet or something, and you don't even know this, you could be being investigated. Um, and you wouldn't even know it because they're not allowed to tell you. And basically your account wouldn't be unlocked until that investigation is over and you're cleared. But that's the thing with another thing with holding your crypto on exchanges is they do have to follow these strict rules, and a lot of people do interact with sketchy cryptocurrencies that might be going through some kind of investigation. And even if your wallet just interacted with that sketchy crypto or that sketchy project and your funds are on the crypto exchange, your entire account could be frozen just because you interacted with that sketchy platform. Even if you didn't do anything bad, like you had no idea until their investigation is over, your funds could be frozen, your account could be frozen, and they are not allowed to tell you why or if you're even being investigated. Just another downside of keeping crypto on an exchange. Let's see. I believe there is a clause in Coinbase's terms and conditions stating that if they become bankrupt, you serve as the creditors to bail them out like a bank. Your funds would be frozen indefinitely. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I haven't confirmed that myself. Wouldn't be surprising, but I don't know for sure. I will say, like, even on Coinbase, it literally says, like, and they advertise, we hold your assets 1 to 1, which is great. That means, they have the money or the crypto to back what you apparently own, but that's literally them telling you you don't actually own your crypto on a technical level. It says we, Coinbase, hold your crypto 1 to 1. So when you keep your crypto on Coinbase and any other exchange, what you really have is a digital receipt. It's a digital IOU. We have this crypto when you're ready to sell it, or transfer it. But until then, as long as it's on our platform, we, the exchange, are holding that for you. That is proof right there. It sounds good in the marketing, but that is proof that you don't actually hold your crypto when it's on an exchange. The only way to truly own and hold your crypto is by sending it to your own self custodial wallet, preferably a cold wallet so it's secure, and owning the keys. The only way to own your crypto on a technical level, I'm not talking on a legal level, on a technical level, is to own the keys to your crypto. And the only way you do that is through a self custodial wallet. Um, so your account is frozen on Binance. Not sure. Let's see. Is Binance trying to leave the market or will it continue to try to get the license? I don't believe Binance is trying to leave the market. They are trying to get a license in another part of Europe. Now, why they withdrew their license from where they originally were trying to get it, I think it was Greece or somewhere in that vicinity. I don't know. Kind of weird. I don't know. Let's see. Not for all European countries instantly. For the EU, this is mainly affecting um, the EU countries, but not all European countries. You're right. Let's see. D Tizzy says, okay, so basically people should put their crypto on a device like Tangem, not a place like Coinbase Wallet. Okay, so Coinbase, the exchange, and Coinbase Wallet are two completely separate things. Coinbase, the exchange, is a custodial wallet, meaning they own the keys to the crypto. Therefore, they actually own, control, and hold what is supposed to be your crypto. Coinbase Wallet is a self custodial hot wallet. Self custodial wallet, meaning you own the keys, therefore, you actually own the crypto, but it's a hot wallet. So those keys are stored in the software on your internet connected device and prone to all the threats of the internet. So those are two completely different types of wallets. One is custodial, you don't own your crypto. The other is self-custodial, you do own your crypto. Neither of those options are a good solution for securing your crypto. If you want to both own, control, and secure your crypto, you want a self-custodial hardware wallet. Hardware wallet being a physical device that actually stores your keys offline in a secure environment. That's the only place that I hold my crypto. That is, in my opinion, as retail investors, that is our best solution for holding, securing, and actually owning our crypto. This does not affect Croatians for now. Not directly, but again, this affects everyone. This is insight to where regulations are headed. And this is proof that regulations ultimately determine what users are able to do on crypto exchanges. If that doesn't scare you, it should, because it just proves you don't actually own or control that crypto. Again, Binance is the biggest crypto exchange in the world. Many people in the EU are not able to do anything with their crypto on Binance anymore because of this new MiCA law. The only thing they can do is sell their crypto and withdraw it. They can't buy crypto. They can't trade crypto. They can't stake crypto. You don't control that crypto. I don't know how else to say it. That's unacceptable. Let's see. Tangem is great. I like Tangem. Let's see. You're suspicious says goodbye, Binance in Europe. Maybe we'll see you again someday. Again, I don't think Binance is exiting the European market. That wouldn't make sense. They are the biggest crypto exchange in the world. However, they have not gained access to the new MiCA license. Therefore, they can't offer many other services. Burnt to Ashes says, yep, already closed my account. That's another thing is it's a good idea to not only have one crypto exchange account, but to have multiple crypto exchange accounts in exact scenarios like this, where regulations change and maybe the crypto exchange that you're using doesn't work or isn't available with a certain regulation because they aren't abiding by their rules. You need another crypto exchange. So it's a good idea to have multiple crypto exchange accounts. So you'd have one on Binance, you'd have one on Kraken, you'd have one on Gemini, one on crypto.com, one on Robinhood. Don't limit yourself to one crypto exchange. Open multiple accounts on different crypto exchanges so that you have different options. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where the exchange shuts down, or like what happened with Coinbase a couple months ago is one of their servers or something overheated and a bunch of users were affected and weren't able to access their account. You don't want to be stuck in that situation. You want to be able to manage your crypto in different ways and on different platforms. And one easy way to do that is just by setting up multiple accounts on different crypto exchanges. M Love, you're welcome. Kelly McBride says, not your keys, not your coins. Exactly. Burn to Ashes says, video is frozen for 5 minutes now. No info here. You might want to check your connection. I use Uphold. Hope it holds up. Maria says, greetings all. I did not put a seed phrase when I got my Tangent wallet. Can I go back and add? You can't add a seed phrase to a seedless Tangent wallet. You have to restart the entire process. And the way you do that depends on if you already have crypto on the wallet. If you have crypto on your Tangent wallet and it's a seedless wallet and you want to add a seed phrase, the first thing you need to do is transfer your crypto out of the wallet, because what you're going to do next is go into settings, and then you go into device settings and you want to factory reset every card. And this will wipe each card clean back to a new state. And then you have to go through the setup process again. And this time when you set up the Tangent wallet, instead of hitting the create wallet button, you select other options, tap seed phrase, and then write down your seed phrase. And then you now have a new Tangent wallet with the seed phrase set up. And then you need to transfer your crypto back to the wallet. If you don't remove your crypto from the wallet before factory resetting it without a seed phrase, you will lose all of your crypto. So that is the most important step. And if you need help doing that, I do have a video on YouTube that walks you through this entire process step by step. If you just type in missed seed phrase Tangent, and it's this video right here. It says, set up your Tangent wallet without a seed phrase, quick fix. Go and watch that video. It'll show you exactly what you need to do. Let's see here. Is it better to close Binance account for a European? I wouldn't say to close your account, but I would say if you have crypto on any crypto exchange, not just Binance, your best option always, not just because of this MiCA law, is to get your crypto into a cold wallet. Again, I've got 2 cold wallets down in the description. Tangent is 20% off right now, plus you get free Bitcoin. And Ledger is offering free Bitcoin with all their wallets using my link in the description. And I also have my full step-by-step user guides for both Ledger and Tangent in the description that shows you how to set up each wallet and how to send crypto from the exchange to that wallet. So if you currently hold crypto on an exchange, everything you need to self-custody your crypto so that you can actually own it and be in full control is down in the description of this video. Final Boss says, I just sent $75 of my USDC to my cold wallet. I use Coinbase a lot because I always use Coinbase One card. However, Coinbase never trusts my transactions. I always have to wait 3 days plus to use my USDC. Again, that's pretty standard with crypto exchanges. They put funds on hold. Really, a lot of the times it's just until the payment clears your bank. And that's another thing is crypto exchanges, they are still centralized companies. They're not true crypto companies. You don't actually own crypto on a crypto exchange. You get a digital receipt that says how much the exchange owes you. You don't hold that crypto. That's why they put your funds on hold. That's why you can never access it instantly. If you actually owned your crypto in a self-custodial wallet, that would not be an issue. Again, just a lot of people don't know this. They don't care to know it, or they just don't know it until something bad happens. Like with myself, my funds were frozen for 30 days. My best friend, his Coinbase account was locked with thousands of dollars in it for a year. And then we had a subscriber on the live stream last month whose Coinbase account was closed and he had $25,000 sitting in it. And there are thousands of other examples of exchanges freezing funds, locking accounts, closing accounts on Reddit that you can find. And this doesn't just apply to Coinbase. This is for every centralized crypto exchange. Like, I like Kraken. That's my personal favorite crypto exchange. Kraken isn't perfect, and they're guilty of it too. Robinhood, Crypto.com, Gemini, Binance. They're all guilty of it because they are all following the rules that our government has put in place. And then you combine that with poor customer service and AI bots, and you get a crypto account that you can't access that's supposed to be your crypto, that's advertised as your crypto, until you find out the hard way that it's not your crypto. Usually at that point, that's when people finally make the move of getting their crypto off the exchange. But oftentimes it takes something really bad happening to that person to finally make the move, which it is what it is. Let's see. You're suspicious says you don't have to close it. Just don't use it for a period. Binance will come back in Europe. They love profit. Yeah, exactly. My recommendation for any of you who only have one crypto exchange account, my first recommendation, set up a crypto exchange account on at least two other crypto exchanges. That way you have multiple options for buying and selling crypto in case something happens to the exchange that you often use. You want to have options. My second recommendation is if you have crypto sitting on any crypto exchange right now, get a cold wallet, send the crypto from the exchange to your cold wallet, and leave it there and don't touch it until you need to access it, whether you're going to trade it, sell it, whatever it is, hold it in your cold wallet. You'll sleep better at night. You'll live stress free. You won't be affected by any hacks that happen on the exchanges. You won't be affected as much by these regulations that are taking effect. It's a really simple solution. Send your crypto to a self-custodial cold wallet, and you'll be good to go. We'll figure the rest out along the way. Burnt to Ashes says, I'm not using them anymore. My honest opinion, we're all screwed no matter what. Satan runs the show, and the evil will win, and all great and small, rich and poor will be forced to receive a mark. Satan will not win. I could tell you that. Satan has already lost. Let's see here. YouTube just completely moved the mark on my chat here. Here we go. Let's see. Not Binance, Uphold Exchange. They asked me to prove where I was transferring 3 Chainlink from. I proved it, and they came back to me and said they cannot offer my account and shutting it down. So you tried sending crypto. They asked you to approve the, or let me see here. To prove it, they asked me to prove where. So you were trying to send crypto to your own wallet, and they asked you to prove that was your wallet, and then you proved it. And now Uphold is saying they are shutting down your account. This is the new crypto travel effect law. Well, it's new in some places like Australia. It's not new in the US. If you try to withdraw crypto from the exchange to your cold wallet, and you notice that now you have to first verify that you own that cold wallet, that is this new crypto travel on effect. And it's another reason to not keep your crypto on an exchange. The way that a lot of exchanges are having you prove that it's your wallet is to send crypto first from your cold wallet to the exchange. Then once you receive it on the exchange, only then are you able to send all your crypto from the exchange to your cold wallet. And the question that I see is, well, how the heck am I supposed to send crypto from my cold wallet to prove I own that wallet when all my crypto's on the exchange? Well, that means you would first have to buy crypto on the cold wallet just to send it to the exchange so that you could then send the crypto on the exchange back to your cold wallet. It's a complete mess. I'm telling you, regulations are making things messy. The easiest way that you can avoid these regulations directly affecting you like this is to keep your crypto in a self-custodial wallet. It's ridiculous. Crypto is stressful sometimes. I hope in the end we all win and are able to cash out and collect annual yield. I think there will be moments, right? Crypto is not going to be up opportunity forever. We're still in the early stages of crypto. There's still plenty of opportunity, but just like all good things, eventually it will come to an end and the next thing will come and there will be more opportunities. But just waiting around, nothing's going to happen by just waiting around. You have to be proactive. You have to be keeping an eye on things. You have to be doing your research. You have to be educating yourself. Just sitting there waiting, sucking on your thumb, nothing's going to happen. I'm not trying to be rude, but that I've done it myself. I've waited years for things to happen in life. Nothing happens from just waiting. Usually, it requires action. And that's not to say that you aren't taking action, but and what does action look like? Again, it just means continued education, watching where things are headed, keeping an eye on other countries, what they're doing, ensuring that your crypto is secure long enough to hopefully benefit from any potential gains that come with being early to such a revolutionary technology, right? So let's see. They used to hold my transactions too, but after 10 or so transactions, both Coinbase and Kraken stopped the holds, but I don't use Coinbase anymore. See, for me, it was actually the opposite. I was using Coinbase for about 2 years until one day they magically froze my funds. And all I did was buy ETH directly through Coinbase using the same bank account that I've been using since I opened the account. And then they decided to freeze my funds. That was the day that I stopped using Coinbase. And since then, I've never kept crypto on an exchange. That day, once my funds were released, I sent all my crypto to my Ledger hardware wallet and I never looked back. And that is why I am so strict about self custody and not keeping crypto on any exchanges. And then you combine that again with my friend's story who had his Coinbase account locked for a year, couldn't access his crypto for a year, and he had thousands of dollars on his account. And then our subscriber who lost $25,000 when Coinbase closed his account. Those three things are enough reason for me to not keep any crypto on exchanges. Everything else is just the cherry on top. John says, yep, meant to start today, but the exchanges started doing this last week. Well, it's not still too late. It's never too late to get your crypto into your own self-custodial wallet. So you're not too late. Let's see. Mike says, why do the rules only apply to crypto and not banks? I trust Capital cannot allow my account because my bank did not have up-to-date KYC info linked to my card. There's probably just a disconnect with kind of the regulations here, and I think that's what a lot of these regulations are trying to figure out. So the banks and the exchanges and crypto can all be one, and we can all be happy, right? MiCA, what's going on? How bad is MiCA to USA, UK, Australia? So MiCA is specific to Europe. That is their law and regulation. It's like the European crypto rule book, right? It's one of the first crypto rules that applies to the entire country. That's why I say it's their crypto rulebook. I think Europe is kind of like the test rat for this type of all-in-one crypto law or regulation, if you will. So as far as how bad is it for the USA, UK, and Australia, I mean, we have similar things. But again, I think it's important to just look at what's going on in other parts of the world to understand where crypto might be headed and how that could affect you down the line. Because right now, a lot of European Binance users who are not able to do anything with their crypto are finding out, oh, I should keep my crypto in my own wallet. I don't actually own it if it's on an exchange. So as US citizens or UK citizens or wherever you live, this could be a good sign to get your crypto off the exchanges, right? So can you explain your idea with hedging with crypto a bit more? I don't have an idea on hedging with crypto. Maybe you could clarify your question. Jerry says, what's up, Skrilla? Thanks for the knowledge you provide always. I've been having issues with my Tangent wallet. Does it support Zcash? Because I can't send it from my exchange, Kraken, nor Robinhood. It gives me an invalid address on all three of my accounts. So the only way I can send it to my Ledger Nano X, do you know why? Well, if Tangent doesn't support Zcash, that would be why, but let me check. Zcash. So Tangent does support Zcash, but it is on the BNB network. So generally what's happening, if you are trying to send crypto from an exchange to your cold wallet and it's giving you an invalid address message, generally what's happening is you have an invalid address. Even though you're copying the Zcash address, which is what you're trying to send from the exchange, from your cold wallet, it's not the right address. Likely because you're not sending it on the correct network. So some cryptocurrencies like Zcash have different addresses on different blockchain networks. Tangent only supports Zcash on the BNB smart chain. So if you're trying to send Zcash on Kraken or on Robinhood on a different network to a different network, that's not going to work. And it's a good thing it doesn't let you do it because you would lose your crypto if you actually went through with it. So you need to double check what network are you sending the crypto on. And most crypto exchanges, they will either tell you what network it's being sent on or they will have you choose the network. And you need to ensure that it matches the network that you're receiving it on in Tangem, which when you go and enable the coin in Tangem, it tells you what network you're enabling. So you need to double check that. Let's see here. MiCA says, I live in Germany and still own €8 worth of crypto on an exchange. How bad is it going to be? Yeah, it's game over for you, MiCA. It's game over. Let's see. Crypto or speculative risk on assets. Gold and silver have been volatile the past 2 years, but gold is tier one asset, technically the opposite of risky. Is there anyone on here that can tell me how to get my crypto off of Kraken? Kenneth Jones, I have a video on how to do this. What I would recommend, Kenneth, if you're trying to get your crypto off Kraken into your own cold wallet, which is what I recommend and what crypto exchanges are now recommending to get your crypto into your own self-custodial wallet, get a wallet. First, you need to get a wallet. You want to get a cold wallet. This is the most secure type of crypto wallet for beginners, as long as it supports the cryptocurrencies that you hold. I usually recommend Tangem. It's the easiest wallet to use. It works with your phone. And I have a link to Tangem down in the description that gets you 20% off plus some free Bitcoin. But along with that, below that, I have my Tangem wallet user guide. This will show you how to set up your Tangem wallet and how to send crypto from Kraken to your Tangem wallet. In that video, I literally show that process using Kraken to the Tangem wallet. So I would start there. If you don't want to use Tangem, you can just go to YouTube and type in how to send crypto to cold wallet and watch my video there, and that will also show you how to do that. MiCA says, I receive small amounts of XRP and XLM, and I just say, thanks for free money. I just send 1.99 to my cold wallet to round up. Nice. Mike says, my Tangem is a safe. Once it goes in, it doesn't come back out. I'll be setting up a separate cold wallet to transfer small amounts to so I can do transactions without losing everything. Nice. Yeah, and Mike, you could do that with another Tangem wallet if you wanted to. You can set up an unlimited, well, not an unlimited. You can set up to 50 sets of Tangem wallets in one Tangem app. So if you want to use one wallet as your main cold storage savings account, if you will, where you keep the majority of your crypto, and then you can set up a separate wallet for riskier transactions, like if you're interacting with different DeFi platforms or, claiming crypto airdrops or anything like that. You could do that with a separate Tangem wallet or with a separate cold wallet if you want to. You could also just use a hot wallet. Preferably, I like to use a cold wallet just for that little added security, but it's up to you. Will this also affect the ability to buy crypto and store on wallets? So the MiCA, the MiCA law will affect if you can buy crypto. Like right now for Binance, July 1st, you will not be able to buy crypto on Binance, but you can still store crypto on cold wallets. It doesn't affect how you can store crypto on cold wallets. As long as the exchange allows you to withdraw your crypto, then you will be able to store it on your cold wallet. But even that's becoming trickier with the new crypto travel effect, at least in Australia, and it's already in other parts of the country, where they're now having you verify that you own the wallet that you're sending to before you can send crypto, which makes absolutely zero sense to me, because to verify the wallet, you have to send crypto from your wallet to the exchange, which how the heck are you supposed to do when you don't have any crypto on the wallet? It's a huge mess. Frankie sent 200 jewels. I appreciate that, Frankie. Thank you. Hi, how about Wealth Simple? Wealth, are they a custodial wallet? It's a yeah, Wealth Simple is a custodial platform. It's just as bad, if not worse, than crypto exchanges. You don't actually own your crypto on Wealth Simple. That is a digital IOU. It's just a digital receipt that says how much crypto they owe you, basically. I would not keep crypto on Wealth Simple. I Trust Capital, Caleb and Brown, Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, Binance, Gemini, Crypto.com. Those are not places to hold crypto. A lot of them will tell you that it is. I don't believe in holding crypto outside of self-custodial options, like mainly hardware wallets. Because if you don't own the keys to your crypto, you do not own that crypto on a technical level. On a legal level, maybe. On a technical level, you don't. If I don't manage to move from Binance to my cold wallet, will the transaction be reported to the EU? Not sure. I would assume that all your transactions are being tracked because it's the blockchain. The blockchain is literally a digital public ledger of transactions. Anyone, including your government, can see all of your crypto transactions. If you send crypto from an exchange to your cold wallet, and then from that cold wallet to another wallet, and that wallet to another wallet, they can literally see all that because crypto is the most transparent form of currency that we've ever had. It is all recorded on a digital public ledger for literally anyone to view. Now, how people connect that to you as an individual, and if they can, really depends on the trail that you leave. But if you are sending crypto from an exchange, which most of us are, to our cold wallet, then best believe there's a paper trail. And if they really wanted to, they could track that and see what you're doing with your crypto on chain, even outside of the exchange. And like the IRS here in the US, they already use Chainalysis, which is a crypto tool that is used to track what's going on the blockchain. This is what professionals use to track all the different criminals on the blockchain, but you can literally connect everything on the blockchain. It's all there to see. Haven't received any mail from Binance whatsoever for 6 months, then maybe you're not affected. That'd be my guess. Let's see. Kraken versus Robinhood versus Coinbase. Which is the preferred, or others I'm missing? Nick, you just kind of got to choose one that supports the cryptocurrencies you want to manage and that has the best fees would be my kind of recommendation. But the main thing with crypto exchanges is that you should only be using them to buy, sell, and maybe trade crypto. Do not hold your crypto on exchanges. No crypto exchange is an acceptable place to hold your crypto or to park your crypto. Use them as they are intended to be used, as exchanges. They are not banks. They are not savings institutions. They are exchanges. They are for buying crypto, selling crypto, trading crypto, but they are not for holding crypto. So use whatever one you want, whatever one has the best fees, but don't hold your crypto there. That's my recommendation. So if I left my crypto on Kraken for months, is it still possible to transfer to a cold wallet? Of course. Of course it is. You could leave your crypto on Kraken for 10 years, assuming nothing bad happens to Kraken, you can still transfer your crypto. I'm saying don't wait for something bad to happen. Get your crypto off the exchange now so that you actually own it and control it. Because that crypto that's on Kraken, that's not actually your crypto. You do not own that. Will it affect South Asia? MiCA is specific to Europe. It is not specific to South Asia. Frank says, crazy part is that you have to wait for some to clear the transactions. Interesting. Let's see. Hi, I like your content. It's very helpful. I'm a European citizen and I've ordered my cold wallet, but it won't arrive until after July 1st. What can I do to keep my crypto safe? For right now, like assuming your crypto's on Binance or another popular crypto exchange, just leave your crypto there. Once you get your wallet, set it up, you're still able to transfer your crypto after the July 1st deadline. Again, this doesn't mean you can't transfer your crypto. It just limits every other feature that crypto exchanges offer. You will still be able to withdraw your crypto after July 1st. So it sounds like you've already started that process. You've got your cold wallet on the way. You're good to go. Just wait till it gets there. Take everything slow. Don't be in a rush because that's where mistakes happen. If you're sending crypto for the first time, like if this is your first time sending crypto to a cold wallet, I don't know what wallet you bought, but if you bought Tangem, make sure to watch my user guide in the description of this video. And first send like a small test transaction, do like $10 at first, just to make sure that you got it down. And then once you build up your confidence, send it in larger chunks or send the rest of it, whatever you're comfortable with. But I don't want you to panic and you know, start moving your crypto around just because this July 1st deadline. The July 1st deadline means that these crypto exchanges will not be able to offer 99% of their services like buying, trading, staking, onboarding new users. You are still able to withdraw your crypto after the July 1st deadline. So don't panic, take things slow, do things right, and you'll be good. What is the best thing to move exchange to cold wallet or hot wallet with minimum fee? You I don't know why you'd want to move your crypto to a hot wallet. If your goal is to secure your crypto, you just move it from the exchange directly to your cold wallet. Fees are not determined by what wallet you're using. Tangem, MetaMask, Ledger, Trezor, they don't have fees for transferring crypto. When you transfer crypto, those fees are determined by the blockchain network. So different blockchain networks have different fees. So Bitcoin has different fees than Solana. Solana has different fees than Ethereum. The transfer fees are determined by those networks. So if you're just looking at what wallet offers the best transfer fees, that's not a thing. If you're looking to secure crypto, just send it from the exchange to your cold wallet and you'll be good. Denton says, so if Binance won't work tomorrow and they are the biggest exchange, I'm guessing prices are going to drop tomorrow. Probably not. I mean, people have known about this for a while now, so it could already be priced in. But maybe, maybe trading volume will be affected. Europe is a large part of the crypto market, and Binance is a large crypto exchange, so we won't have all those trading fees from Binance. So maybe we'll see some kind of effect. That could be interesting. MiCA says, do you think Coinbase is going to be bothered to attain a MiCA license? They already have. Coinbase, OKX, Kraken, they already have their MiCA license. Will this affect if you own crypto ETFs? Crypto ETFs, possibly. If those companies in Europe don't attain the MiCA license, then yes, it could. Dizzy Chizzy, what's going on? Thanks for joining the live. The Real says, moved every last cent worth of crypto to my cold wallet. Damn BS. Well, good for you, and props to you for moving your crypto to a cold wallet. It is BS. Regulations are BS. Scams are BS. Hacks are BS. The way that you can limit a lot of this BS is to self-custody your crypto. I sound like a broken record, and that's okay. I've been sounding like a broken record for the last 3 years that I've been here on YouTube. Self-custody is the way, guys. I'm telling you, and gals. Crypto was designed to be self-custodied. Exchanges trick you into holding your crypto on their platforms, and they incentivize you by offering tempting rewards and these shiny objects so that they can generate fees from you. They want to extract from you. They don't want to give you stuff. All the rewards and things that they offer you, they're making way more on the back end just from you holding your crypto on the exchange and using their services. They also take cuts from all of this. That's not to say that cold wallets don't do that too, but it's a lot less because everything you do on a crypto exchange is controlled by the exchange, whereas with a cold wallet, you are the controller. So, what is your opinion on Tangem Hot Wallet? If you want to use a hot wallet, I think the Tangem Hot Wallet is a great option. It's a secure wallet, just like MetaMask. I think it's one of the better ones. Aside from that, I don't personally use it because I mainly use cold wallets. For hot wallets, I just use the ones that I have been using for years, which is like MetaMask, Phantom. Those are my main hot wallets. But again, I really only use hot wallets for interacting with sketchy DeFi platforms and doing risky transactions. I don't actually keep any amount of crypto on a hot wallet that I would be worried about losing. That's how I recommend most people treat hot wallets. This law is coming to the EU and EEA, EU, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. If you live in these countries, then you're affected. It's unfortunate. Jeremy, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. The real, even if the crypto exchange has MiCA, it still has less staking options and trading tools compared to its version outside UE. Yeah, and that's another thing. Again, remember, you don't need to keep your crypto on an exchange to stake it or earn yield. Like Tangent, for example, you can stake crypto on Tangent while still being in control of the keys, and you can earn yield on stablecoins directly on Tangent and Ledger and Trezor and most other popular hardware wallets. You do not need your crypto on exchanges to earn rewards. You can do all of that, plus have the added security and the full ownership and control that a self custodial hardware wallet offers. You can do all that through your hardware wallet using your hardware wallet's native application. You don't need the exchanges to do that stuff. You can also buy and sell crypto on your hardware wallet. You can also swap crypto on your hardware wallet. Everything you can do on an exchange, you can do through your hardware wallet for the most part, depending on which wallet you have. Barbara, what's going on? Good afternoon and happy Tuesday. Hope the weather is doing well for you over there. Appreciate all your work and keeping everyone safe. Absolutely. I appreciate you joining the live. Jetpack Joe says if you hook up Apple Pay to your exchange, you bypass a 3-day wait. You can transfer, send, or swap automatically. That may be true. The only downside with using Apple and Google Pay is that your limits are a lot lower. So depending on how much crypto you're buying or DCAing, and depending on the exchange you're using, your limits might be a couple $100 or a few $100. Whereas if you use your bank account, you start getting into the thousands. So it really depends on what you're doing. Is it okay to use Trust Wallet? I moved all my crypto from Mexi to Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is not only a hot wallet, it is one of the worst, least trustworthy hot wallets available. Trust Wallet has multiple hacks. There was a hack on Christmas Day, actually, where a lot of users lost millions of dollars. But Trust Wallet is not a place that you would ever want to keep crypto, mainly because it is a hot wallet. You want to store your crypto in a cold wallet. So for now it's okay. Like, don't panic. You can keep your crypto in Trust Wallet. But what I would do today is buy a cold wallet and then send your crypto from Trust Wallet to cold wallet once your wallet is set up. But I wouldn't even leave a penny on Trust Wallet. Again, because Trust Wallet is probably one of the worst hot wallets out there, in my opinion. Denton says, Kraken no longer holds my transactions. They are always available instantly. Same with Coinbase, but I don't use them much anymore. That's the same for me. Yeah, Kraken doesn't hold my my transactions, so that's the good thing. Sean says, so wait, I'm confused about the MiCA thing. I have mine on Coinbase at the moment. Okay, so MiCA is a new law in Europe, and it's basically the new crypto rule book for Europe and how crypto companies operate. The MiCA law only really affects Europeans directly in certain countries. To operate in Europe, crypto companies like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance have to have a MiCA license. This license lets them operate across all of Europe. If they don't get this license, they are not able to provide many of the services that crypto exchanges are known for providing, like buying, trading, staking crypto. Currently, Binance does not have this license. Therefore, they cannot onboard more users. They can't allow you to buy crypto. They can't allow you to trade crypto. They can't allow you to stake crypto. The only thing you can do on this platform is withdraw or sell your crypto. You can basically exit the platform. Sean, your crypto is on Coinbase. If you are European or you're in a European country and you're using Coinbase, Coinbase has already received this MiCA license, so they will continue operating as normal. That said, even before this license, you need to know that crypto exchanges like Coinbase are not a place to hold your crypto. They are custodial wallets. A custodial wallet means that you don't actually own the keys to your crypto. The exchange owns the keys, which means on a technical level, they own your crypto, which is exactly why they can freeze your funds, lock your account, and close your account without your permission. If you want to truly own and control your crypto, you need to send your crypto to a self-custodial wallet. The most secure type of self-custodial wallet is a cold wallet. If you hold your crypto on an exchange, which many exchanges, including Kraken, have already admitted, they are not cryptocurrency wallets, they are not savings accounts, they are not meant to hold crypto. If you hold your crypto on an exchange, all you have is a digital receipt, a digital IOU of what that exchange owes you if you decide to withdraw your crypto or sell your crypto. That's all you have. You don't actually own that crypto. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And if you're looking for a cold wallet, I generally recommend Tangem. Ledger is another good beginner friendly option. I have my Tangem wallet user guide that shows you how to set the wallet up and transfer your crypto to it, and my Ledger wallet user guide that shows you how to set it up and transfer crypto to it down in the description of this video. I also have links to both Tangem wallet and Ledger wallets. The Ledger wallets, they all work the same. It just depends on what device you want. Some have a touchscreen, some don't. They all offer the same security. But the Tangem link will get you 20% off your order plus free Bitcoin with your order. And the Ledger link that I have down there, until July 3rd, you will get up to $80 in free Bitcoin, $80 in free Bitcoin with your purchase. Depending on which wallet you get, it's like $10 to $80. So definitely take advantage of those deals down in the description as well. Did Ledger list Canton? I don't believe so. Luis Nunez says, I think I'm safe. I use Kraken and Revolut and my Tangem cold wallet. Yeah, as long as you are, using Kraken and Revolut just as exchanges to buy, maybe sell and trade crypto, when you're not actually keeping crypto on there, then I would say you're safe. It sounds like you might be buying your crypto on the exchange and then sending it to Tangem and holding your crypto on Tangem. If that's what you're doing, then I think you're good to go. Let me see here. Cross Central says, Skrilla, do you have any recommendations on what students should study to get involved in working in the cold wallet industry? It depends on how involved you want to get. Like if you want to go work for a cold wallet company, there's lots of different aspects to any business, right? Do you want to be on the marketing side? Do you want to be on the security side? If marketing, then obviously you'd want to go into marketing, business development. If you want to actually work on the wallets and security, then obviously cybersecurity would be a good route. Computer science, things like that. It really depends on what you want to do. Or you could just do content as well, like I do. You can self-teach yourself. There's lots of avenues you can take. It really depends on what you're trying to do though. Lucky you, at least people in other countries can withdraw crypto. Here in India, it's completely disabled. That means now exchanges will hold it because AML crap policies. So basically we are screwed. That's true for the United States as well. If there's some kind of issue with your crypto, whether you're under investigation or there's something going on, they will freeze your funds or maybe even lock your account as well. It's the same here. I don't know if it's more strict in India, but that is the reality of holding your crypto on an exchange. You are at the hand of the exchange, who's at the hand of the government who makes these laws, and these exchanges have to follow these laws. So if your crypto, for as long as your crypto is sitting on an exchange, they are in control of your crypto. If you had sent your crypto to a self-custodial wallet, they would not be able to freeze your funds. Plain and simple. Sean says, I have a Tangem wallet, but still haven't been able to set it up. Would like to know why. Burnt Tasha says, you missed what I meant, Skrill. Of course, Jesus won on Calvary, but you and I both know what it says in Revelation. All I know is Jesus is alive. He was risen, and he has already won. That's all I know. Holly Music says, showed up late. What's going on with having to move my crypto? So this is, if you're a European user, the MiCA law takes effect July 1st, which maybe it has already taken effect. Binance. So basically crypto exchanges, they have to get a MiCA license before they're able to continue operating at full capacity. Binance, which is the biggest crypto exchange in the world, has not gotten this license. So they sent out messages to affected users telling them to move their crypto off the exchange if they want to basically access their crypto. They recommended moving it to a self-hosted or self-custodial wallet, which I have a couple linked down in the description. But basically, this is just foresight and kind of a forewarning of the reality of holding your crypto on centralized platforms like Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Binance, is that you don't actually own or control that crypto as long as your crypto remains on their platform. That's kind of the main takeaway here. There's a difference in patience and just doing nothing. Yeah, patience is different than just doing nothing, of course. Sean says, I had to figure out how to set up my NFC on my phone, so I'll have time to figure out my phone setup and never have a cola before. So now I'm anxious. Sean, just Google it. Like Google will answer your question in 10 seconds. Whatever phone you have, say, how do I enable NFC on enter your phone? Then follow those steps. And then once you've enabled it, follow the video down in the description to set up your Tangent wallet. It shouldn't be that difficult. Sean says, yeah, I only have one account and only one bank account on the account and have close to 20 also on the exchange. Definitely want to get that to a cold wallet. Sean says, I'm KYC'd, but want to learn more about DeFi. Once I figure out how to get NFC turned on, will you be available or on later tonight or tomorrow so I can set up a time so I can have my handheld? The video down in the description is literally a handheld video. It's me setting up a Tangent wallet in real time. There's no editing. It's just me on camera as if I'm sitting right next to you setting up a Tangent wallet. That's as close as you're going to get to me holding your hand, setting up a Tangent wallet and transferring crypto to it. I think it's the most in-depth Tangent wallet setup guide on the internet. You should keep your Solana into your own wallet and stake for the next couple of years. Yeah, I mean, if you plan on holding crypto for several years and you've got a lot of it, staking it could be a decent option to earn some extra money. And Press says, I don't like Coinbase either. Used it once only. Nice. Crypto Mercenary says, always have enjoyed your channel. You've helped me secure a cold wallet 6 to 8 months ago. I'm happy with your recommendation, and I'm grateful for your live streams. Hope all is well. Appreciate that. And I'm glad you're happy with your cold wallet. Well done. Stark, I already answered your question about using Trust Wallet. I don't recommend it. Also not a place to keep your crypto. It is a hot wallet. Matt Morgan, do you think Tangent will eventually allow sell and buy limit orders available to keep assets completely off the exchanges? Thanks for all you do, brother. It's a good question, and I don't know of any hardware wallet that offers buy and sell orders. I think it would be huge, though. I can definitely talk to him about it. That said, I don't think having the option to set up buy and sell orders is worth the risk of keeping your crypto on an exchange, and I would hope you're not doing that. It sounds like you are. But for me, that's not worth the risk. Even though they don't offer these services, it's still not something that I'm willing to risk by keeping my crypto on the exchange just so I can set up a buy and a sell order. But to your point, it's something that crypto wallets should offer, and hopefully maybe they can. Let's see. Sean says, I'm in New York. Is there any exchanges you'd recommend for my area? For New York, I think you have access to Gemini and Robinhood, maybe. But maybe look at Gemini. I know that's a popular one. Let's see. When I transfer my crypto to a cold wallet, does my basis follow, or do I need to keep track of that? So you're not going to see your cost basis or profit and loss directly in the wallet. But all of that is tracked on the blockchain. Everything you do in crypto is recorded on the blockchain. So the blockchain knows what price you originally bought it at, the price when you transferred it, the price when you sell it. It knows all of that. All of that is recorded. The blockchain where all of crypto lives is a digital public ledger. Now, if you want access to that and how you generally get access to that, usually comes when you file your crypto taxes using a crypto tax software like CoinLedger. And what CoinLedger does is it has you enter all of your information. So it has you connect your crypto exchange accounts and then your wallet receiving addresses. And then with all that information, it goes to the blockchain, aggregates all that data, pulls it into the software, and then it connects all the dots for you. So it shows you your cost basis, your profit and loss. It does all that. Now, you don't need to use that specific software just for filing taxes. They have a portfolio tracker if you want to use it. But that's really the best way that you can do that right now when you have crypto on different platforms is using something like coinledger.io, which is a website. Sean Ryan says, I use your code. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Stark already told you what was wrong with Trust Wallet. It's a hot wallet. Hot wallets are not meant for holding crypto. They're prone to hacks, which Trust Wallet has been hacked many times. But a hot wallet is one that stores the keys used to access your crypto in the software on your internet connected device. Your internet connected device is prone to malware and all types of hacks. You want to the way you secure your crypto is by removing the key from internet connected devices. The way that you do that is using a hardware wallet or a cold wallet. A hardware wallet stores a key offline in a secure environment. That's how you protect your crypto. That's crypto security 101 in a nutshell. Um, my pack, my power says nothing wrong with it, just a hot wallet. So it's basically not that safe as a cold wallet. Yeah, again, Trust Wallet is a hot wallet, definitely not as safe as a cold wallet, but Trust Wallet specifically is, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, is one of the worst hot wallets. They've had many issues. Sean Ryan says, so the 3 card pack, can you set up multiple wallets with 3 cards? So what So the way that Tangent works is you need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one wallet. That's why Tangent is sold in either a 2 or a 3 pack. So with a 3 pack, you can really only set up one wallet because you need at least 2 cards. Now, if you're wondering if you should get a 2 or a 3 pack of Tangent cards, it really depends on how you're going to set the wallet up. If you're going to use Tangent as a seedless wallet without a seed phrase, I recommend getting the 3 pack because each card basically acts as your backup key. So if you don't have the seed phrase, that's one less option you have for accessing your crypto if you lose your cards. So you want that one additional card that you get with the 3 pack. Now, if you're going to set up your Tangent wallet with a seed phrase, you can get away with 2 cards because even if you lost your 2 cards, you still have your seed phrase you can use to enter into a new cold wallet and access your crypto. But ultimately, and what I always do is I just buy the 3 pack. That way I always have that one additional card. But if you wanted to set up multiple Tangent wallets on your Tangent app, which you can set up to 50 different wallets in one Tangent app, then you basically would need to do it in sets of 2. So, for example, if you buy 2 3 packs, which is the family pack, that would give you 6 cards total, and you could actually set up 3 separate wallets, 2 cards each. I just spilled my drink. It's still a little fizzy. It's pretty good though. Pretty good. Um, let's see here. Star says a bit new. No worries, Star. That's what we're here for. Stark says we don't hold, but we hold our own keys even if hacked. How do they get access to your crypto? So the keys are what hackers use to access your crypto. When you use a hot wallet like Trust Wallet, your keys are held in the software on your internet connected device, whether that's your phone or your computer. If your device gets hacked, hackers can then access your keys and then they can use your keys to steal your crypto. That's why it's called a hot wallet. That's why hardware wallets were created. And that's why if you want to secure your crypto, you simply send your crypto to a hardware wallet and your keys remain offline, away from the internet connected device, away from the hacks and the potential malware that you could get on your device. That is the sole reason you want to use a hardware wallet. Barbara says, I just started hearing about this new law. I always send crypto to my cold wallet as soon as I can. We will have to verify every time we buy on Coinbase. Will we have to verify every time we buy on Coinbase or Kraken? Barbara, like I said, this specific law, the MiCA law, is really just for Europe, but I think it gives us good insight into where the entire crypto market or crypto regulations could be headed, which is ultimately control, verification, zero privacy, right? As far as if you have to verify every time we buy on Coinbase or Kraken, if you're talking about like the wallet verification, if you're sending crypto to the same wallet every time, you should only have to verify it once. Now, if you're sending something like Coinbase, I could see that being an issue because if you're generating a new Bitcoin receiving address every time, you're going to have to verify that new address every time you send crypto. So it really depends on, uh, are you sending crypto to the same receiving address, or are you using a different receiving address every time? If you're using a different receiving address, this is going to be a huge pain in the butt with crypto exchanges now requiring you to verify that you own that address before sending crypto to it. They're literally having you send crypto from the address to the exchange just so you can send crypto from the exchange back to the address. Again, this makes zero sense. It's a complete mess, and it's pretty disappointing. Not if you use a mixer. Even mixers are still tracked all the time. A mixer makes it harder. It doesn't make it impossible. Plenty of hackers and scammers have used mixers and they still get caught and arrested. So it's not a guaranteed way. Denton says the analogy that public restrooms or exchanges are like public restrooms are good. Do your business and get out. It's not a place to leave valuables. Exactly. It's such a good analogy. Monero and mixers. Monero, sure, mixers do not guarantee that you can't be tracked. Also, you have to consider up to the point of using a mixer. Again, you still have a paper trail. If you buy crypto on an exchange and then send it to your wallet and then use a mixer, they can still see that you use a mixer or that you use a mixer. There's always a paper trail somewhere. So, does transferring from exchange to wallet count as a transaction? It is a transaction, of course. You are confirming that transaction on the blockchain. Now, do you mean is that a taxable event? It is not. Transferring crypto, at least in the US, is not a taxable event at this point. Let's see here. Coinbase. Sorry, YouTube always glitches out and then shoots me way down the chat list, and I have to find my way back to where I was. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sean says, I wish I had someone that hold my hand and show me how to do it. It's so stressful. Again, Sean, videos down in the description, literally shows you step by step how to do it. It's really not that stressful. There's nothing bad is going to happen by simply setting up your cold wallet. At that point, you don't even have to touch your crypto. Just go through the process, set up your cold wallet. Super easy. Super, super easy. When it comes to the transferring crypto part, you just take your time. Don't send all your crypto at once. Try sending a small test transaction first. I usually recommend sending at least $10 and make sure it arrives on your wallet. After you do that, you build some confidence up, you can send the rest. It's really not that stressful. You're overwhelming yourself with the thought of doing it. Whereas if you actually do it and go through the steps, come to find out, it's really not that hard. We all start where you started, Sean. Back when I got my first wallet in 2020, where there was a lot less information online about how to set up and use a hardware wallet 6 years ago. I kind of had to just figure it out on my own. And I did by just going through the steps. And I understand that it can be scary and a little nerve-wracking, but I just want you to know just the setup process of setting up a wallet, there's nothing really nerve-wracking about that. You're not touching your crypto, your money at the point. You're just setting up a device. So just take it step by step. I leave a minimum of crypto on Simple, like 2 coins. That's what you feel comfortable doing, then that's up to you. Exchanges should be looking at nothing other than on-ramp and off-ramp, and they don't, but that doesn't mean your government isn't looking elsewhere. EEA is the European Economic Area like the EU, but only for economic benefits to European countries. Interesting. Joe says, it took a while to have Gemini to allow me to pull my crypto because all I ever did was buy on the exchange. Now I buy on the exchange and then transfer to my Tangent wallet. Good job, Joe. And yeah, it can take a while. Sean, I appreciate your support using the code. Roger Flores says, I'm new at this. My son set me up on SoFi, but no cold wallet. I want to move it on to Tangent cold wallet. Is SoFi okay to use? So SoFi, that's a bank, and they do offer buying crypto. Now the question is, can you send crypto off of SoFi to your own wallet? Yes, you can send crypto directly off SoFi to an external wallet. So that's the first question. We got that answered. So SoFi is, if that's what you want to use to buy and sell crypto, that's fine. But yeah, Roger, I wouldn't recommend leaving your crypto in SoFi. I mean, I wouldn't personally feel comfortable doing that. Um, I'm assuming you hold some of the larger, more popular coins if you're using SoFi. So probably Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, maybe XRP. If you're holding any of those, Tangem supports all of those cryptocurrencies. Tangem is a really beginner friendly hardware wallet that I've been using for the past 3 years, and thousands of people on this channel use as well. So what I would recommend doing, Roger, is go in the description of this video. There's a few links down there. The first link is to get a Tangem wallet, and right now they have a deal. You get 20% off, plus you get some free Bitcoin. So get yourself a Tangem wallet. They all work the same, whether you want to get a 2 or a 3 pack, that's up to you. So get yourself a Tangem wallet. Then a couple links below that, there's my Tangem wallet user guide that will walk you through step by step how to set up the Tangem wallet and transfer your crypto to it. And it's really the same process regardless of whether you're using SoFi, Kraken. Sending crypto is usually the same. You copy the receiving address from the receiving wallet, you hit send on the exchange where your crypto is currently stored, you paste the receiving address, you enter how much you want to send, you confirm the transaction, you wait a couple minutes, it shows up in your wallet. Now, of course, there are some small caveats along the way, but that's the general process. So you can definitely do that with SoFi and Tangem. So yeah, I think that's your next actionable steps that you can take. Joe, you're absolutely welcome. Thanks for the good questions. Coinbase is giving you 5% if you send crypto to them. Depends. I think their APY on the USDC is 3.5%. Let's see. Confirm understanding. Do you think Coinbase Wallet will experience any problems? Coinbase Wallet is not an exchange. Coinbase Wallet is a self-custodial hot wallet, not an exchange. Also, you don't want to keep your crypto on Coinbase Wallet. Hot wallets store the keys used to access your crypto in the software on your internet connected device. So that's either your browser extension on your computer or the mobile app in your phone. If either of your devices get compromised because you accidentally download some malware or something like that, then that malware, depending on the malware, can actually go and find your keys, and then the hacker can steal your keys and access your crypto. The way you secure your crypto is by removing your keys from your internet connected devices. And the way you do that is by using a hardware wallet, which takes the keys, puts them onto the hardware wallet device, which is usually uses some kind of secure, like a secure element chip, which is the same kind of technology that's found in bank cards and electronic passports. That's where your key is actually stored. So not only is it protected from the threats of the internet, but it's also protected from physical threats. Like if someone gets their hands on your hardware wallet, makes it extremely difficult for them to ever access your wallet. So that's why you want to remove your crypto from exchanges and hot wallets, put them into a cold wallet. EU only, best broken record ever, says Joel. I think so too. Keeping crypto on exchange is same as keeping money in the bank. Yeah, I would say even worse at this point, where we're at in crypto. I haven't had my money frozen in a bank. I know obviously it can happen. Whereas I've had my funds frozen on a crypto exchange probably more than 5 times at this point. So crypto exchanges are much, much more sensitive than holding money in a bank at this point. But to your point, they both, if you keep your money in a bank or keep your crypto on an exchange, you don't actually own that money and you don't actually own that crypto. They are in full control of your money if you keep it in a bank. They're in full control of your crypto if you keep it on an exchange. All you have is a digital receipt, a digital IOU. We owe you this money if you decide to withdraw it. We owe you this crypto if you decide to withdraw it. The only way to truly own your crypto is by storing it in a self-custodial wallet. The only way to truly own your money, well, that kind of depends. Maybe you have, physical assets like gold or silver. Maybe you just have cash under your mattress. I don't know. But ultimately, if you're letting another company hold your funds for you, they technically own those funds and control them. MiCA says, I also moved my last cents over. I sent all my ETH to my Bitpanda hot wallet and converted them back to send them to my Tangent wallet. Bitpanda has the lowest fees. Nice. Jimmy Ka says, how do you know? Jimmy says, how do you know if it's a fake Tangent card or a real one? So there has never been a reported fake Tangent wallet. It's really hard to fake a Tangent wallet because it's just a card. There's only two components, a secure element chip and an NFC antenna. If someone wanted to open up a Tangent wallet, they basically have to completely destroy it. So if you then received that wallet, you would receive one that looked super botched, and you would probably know. That said, even if you were to receive a fake Tangent card, the app and the card actually works together. So when you scan your card, when you're setting up your Tangent wallet, the Tangent app actually verifies that you're using a card that is using authentic Tangent firmware. If it's using anything else than authentic Tangent firmware, it will pop up a warning message. It either won't let you set the wallet up, or it will say, there's something wrong with this wallet. So either way, you would know if you're using a fake Tangent wallet, whether that's because the card looks like crap or because the app is telling you it's not a real wallet. Tangent is probably the hardest wallet to fake at this point. Denton says, order it directly from Tangent and make sure the packaging is intact. This is probably one of the most important rules of buying a crypto wallet. Or sorry, this is one of the most important rules of buying any cold wallet, whether that's a Ledger, Trezor, or a Tangent. Order it directly from the manufacturer's website. Now, I know a lot of them, they sell them at Best Buy, they sell them on Amazon. But here's the thing. Even if you were to buy it at Best Buy or on Amazon, which they're probably authentic there, you're missing out on all of the incentives that you would get by buying it through the manufacturer's website. Like Tangent, they usually offer some kind of sale, either 10 to 30% off plus free Bitcoin. Ledger will offer free Bitcoin. You're never going to get that if you're buying it at Best Buy or even on Amazon. You might get a discount on Amazon, but you're not going to get the free crypto that a lot of these companies offer. Aside from that, though, if you're buying it on any third-party website, whether that's Amazon, eBay, hopefully not like Facebook Marketplace, but there's a lot of other third-party crypto wallet websites, you still risk buying a fake hardware wallet. Like I said, with Tangent, probably not going to happen, but it has happened with Ledger and Trezor. Those are a little easier to fake. And you could just avoid that whole headache of potentially buying a fake wallet. Even if you found out that it was fake and you didn't set it up, you still have to deal with the headache that you bought a fake or compromised wallet and trying to get your money back or return it or whatever it may be. You can just avoid all that by ordering it directly from the manufacturer. You know you're getting a legit wallet, and you'll be able to return it or whatever kind of refund policy they have. Plus, you get all the incentives. That is my top recommendation when buying a cold wallet. If I had to keep one in a cold wallet, which one, USDT or USDC? Thank you. There's lots of arguments for either one. At this point, I don't really have a recommendation. I mean, USDT, USDC, both of them are not decentralized. They both have issuers. They both can be frozen. You could argue that maybe USDC would be more or less volatile because you have big backers like Coinbase, and you have Circle, who's the issuer. So maybe you'd feel more comfortable with that, knowing that a company like Coinbase kind of backs and supports it. I don't really know. I think USDT and USDC are both decent, but it just kind of depends. Standing Mannequin says, have you covered what size blocks are best for transfers to Cold Wallet? Does it matter? I don't know exactly what you mean by best size blocks. Yeah, if you could clarify what you mean, I might be able to answer that better. Flat Smack says, I sign into Ledger Live and they want me to agree to some new terms and conditions. So cringe. Did anyone else see this? This is very common, and it will happen on any technological device or app you use. Uh, Almost every year, they're going to come out with new terms and conditions. This is something that they have to do, and as a user, you just have to agree to it or don't agree and don't use it. But this is very standard across any product. So, will every exchange be cut off from staking and earning yields in the EU? No, only exchanges that don't get the MiCA license. Will I trim this stream again? Possibly. Norman, what's going on? Waju says, wow, staking or lending in a pool has way different setups. In most cases, you lose ownership. Absolutely. I mean, you're locking your crypto into a contract when you stake it or lend it or something. So it's almost like a shared ownership, right? It's a contract between the platform providing the service and your wallet or you, and you're basically locking in that contract where you're both in agreement on the terms and conditions. Could you make a video on secure and user-friendly places to stake from a cold wallet? Um, I don't know if I'll make a video on like external staking platforms. I do have a video on how to stake crypto and using the Tangent wallet to do that. But generally, when it comes to staking crypto, I would just use one of the services that's provided by or through the hardware wallet's native app, because these hardware wallet companies, they're only using and working with vetted and audited staking validators to offer these services. They're not going to offer services through sketchy staking validators. So, in my opinion, your best bet would be to use the validators that are provided through your hardware wallet app. Let's see. Please don't trim it. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a while before I trim it. If I do, it'll be probably a couple days. LMG says, do you recommend using Caleb and Brown for being able to sell a small amount of crypto if the exchanges crash or big price increases, or is it better to do it ourselves on our wallets or exchanges? You can use whatever you want to buy and sell crypto. My thing is really comes down to where you keep your crypto. If you want to use Caleb and Brown to buy and sell, that's up to you. You know, if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. Let's see. Sorry, when buying and selling on Ledger, didn't you say DEXs can do wrong contracts inside the Ledger or Tangent app? No, I didn't say they do wrong contracts. I say there is always going to be an inherent risk when using a decentralized exchange to swap crypto, because you are signing a digital contract approval. And to sign that contract, you're using your wallet address. Now, a lot of the decentralized exchanges will have you sign something called an unlimited spend approval. When you sign this unlimited spend approval, you're basically giving that specific contract indefinite access to that specific wallet address in your wallet, which means even if that contract is safe today, if years later the contract is compromised or a backdoor is found and exploited, then the hacker that exploited that could potentially take crypto out of your wallet because you already signed that transaction approval a long time ago, and they have indefinite access to it. So there is always an inherent risk with signing contract approvals using any wallet. That's why I say don't sign contract approvals with your main cold storage wallet, because there will always be some level of risk in doing that. Use a completely separate wallet for doing that. Now, is it likely when signing transaction approvals using these vetted services that cold wallets offer? It's very unlikely, very small percentage chance that something bad will happen. I'm just saying, if you want to eliminate those possibilities, just use a completely separate wallet for decentralized exchanges. Peace out, MiCA. Have a good evening. Is Caleb and Brown good for selling crypto? Sure, if that's what you want to use, go for it. What about borrowing in vaults on Mystic and Upshift? Will these be affected? I'm not aware of those platforms specifically. If they are centralized companies operating in the EU, they could be affected if they don't have the MiCA license. Norman says, thank you for all the info. How do you transfer crypto to a cold wallet or spend your money? So those are two separate questions. The way you transfer crypto to a cold wallet is you set up the cold wallet, then you copy the receiving address for the crypto that you want to send to it. Then you go over to the exchange where you're sending the crypto from. You hit the send button. You paste your wallet's receiving address, you enter the amount of crypto you want to send, and you confirm the transaction. And then your crypto will magically show up in your wallet. As far as spending your crypto wallets aren't really for spending crypto like in the real world. However, we are starting to see some more options and more applications for doing that. The best example I have is Tangent Pay, which Tangent Pay is basically a crypto debit card. So it's a crypto wallet debit card. So you actually own the crypto in that card. The bank doesn't own it. And you can spend it at over 100 million different Visa terminals worldwide. Now, the only way you get access to Tangent Pay is you have to own a Tangent wallet, which is Norman, the wallet that I would recommend you check out if you're trying to get a cold wallet and send your crypto to one. I've got the Tangent wallet link down in the description with 20% off, plus you get free Bitcoin. But I also have my Tangent wallet user guide down there that shows you exactly how to set the wallet up and how to send crypto from the exchange to your wallet. So literally everything you need is down in the description. But yeah, I have tons of videos on the channel. If you just type in how to send crypto from exchange to cold wallet, my video will pop up on YouTube. What about I Trust Capital, the Roth account? What about it? If you own a crypto IRA, you don't actually own crypto. Again, you have a digital receipt. You don't own anything. You have something that says, "Hey, we owe you this amount of crypto." Is a MetaMask that's built into my Arculus wallet safe to use? Define safe to use. Like, you can safely use hot wallets with your hardware wallet. You can connect your hardware wallet to hot wallets. There's nothing necessarily unsafe about doing that, because the important thing is the key is still stored on the hardware wallet. If you connect your hardware wallet to a app like MetaMask, all you're doing is using the MetaMask app to manage your physical hardware wallet. So instead of using the Arculus app, you're using MetaMask. That's just an example. But it's what you're doing with that MetaMask that would determine whether your Arculus wallet would be at risk or not. If you're connecting Arculus to MetaMask and then going and doing a bunch of risky transactions on DeFi platforms, then yeah, your wallet is still at risk. So it depends on the action. When sending crypto BEP20, Ledger Live doesn't show. How to connect MetaMask with Ledger and it showed, but when to send to sell, to exchange, to send, and enable blind signing. Is that normal? Yes, unfortunately, a lot of wallets still have you enable blind signing because certain platforms require blind signing. It is normal, but it does mean that you won't be able to actually read the transaction, or all the details of the transaction. Has anyone ever went through a MiCA withdraw appeal to get their crypto off after they had withdrawals frozen pending KYC? Sounds like something that could be plausible. I don't, as long as you're doing it through the official MiCA website, I would say that sounds reasonable, and hopefully you can get that appeal done. Just make sure you're not dealing with a scammer. I generally tend to keep a couple hundred on Coinbase just to have for quick swaps and purchases. Aside from that, I keep everything else on cold storage. I understand that. To me, that doesn't make sense because everything you can do on Coinbase, you can do through your cold wallet. So you can still have access to quick swaps and purchases, even holding your crypto on a cold wallet. That's exactly what I do. So just a heads up. Flat Smack says, I have some crypto on MiCA as well and don't know how to get it out because I used a VPN. It's unfortunate. Coinbase is trash. I do agree. What about Exodus? Royce, Exodus is a hot wallet as well. A hot wallet means the keys are stored in the software on your internet connected device, so it's prone to all the hacks and malware that your devices can pick up. If your goal is to actually own and secure your crypto, you really want to use a cold wallet, which again is its own physical device. I've got 2 cold wallets listed down in the description. Tangent is a great option for beginners, as is Ledger. Tangent is mobile only. Ledger works with both your computer and your phone, so it kind of depends on which route you want to go. But I wouldn't hold any crypto on Exodus or on MetaMask or Trust Wallet or Coinbase Wallet or Phantom, because those are all hot wallets. So Joe says Tangent is so easy to use. Absolutely. Jetpack says, run the problem through ChatGPT. It'll tell you how. Be very cautious asking AI and these LLMs for crypto advice, especially crypto wallet advice. 9 times out of 10, it is completely wrong. I use AI every single day for research and for the channel, and it is often incorrect. If you don't know how to feed ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, if you don't know how to feed it the correct context, it's not going to give you a correct answer. So be very careful. Flatsmack says, I got SimSwap attacked, and the only exchange that allowed them to steal my funds was Coinbase. Wow, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, SimSwap attacks are real. And if you don't have your crypto exchange account set up the correct way, then a SimSwap attack could lead to you losing all of your crypto. So, a couple things that you want to ensure to prevent SimSwap attacks. First, you should call your phone service provider and ensure that you have some kind of PIN enabled. That way, no one can change your phone number or change your SIM card without knowing the PIN and without your approval. I think that's the first thing you should check. The second thing that you always want to do is have 2FA enabled on your crypto exchange account. Now, if you can, don't use the SMS or text message 2FA, because if you get SIM swapped, then they will still be able to access your crypto exchange account and take your crypto. When you enable 2FA on the crypto exchange, one of the best things you can do is to use an authentication app. You can just use something like Google Authenticator. And that way, even if you were to get SIM swap, they still won't be able to access your crypto exchange account. You could also use email 2FA, still not really that good, because if your email gets hacked, then you're still screwed. So I'd say the best thing you could do, again, make sure you have 2FA enabled, but use like an authentication app, or if you have a physical 2FA device, that could be an option as well. Robert says, I'm from the UK. I just tried to order through your link and they do not send to the UK. That's not true. They absolutely do send to the UK. I would make sure that you have your address entered 100% correctly. We have tons of subscribers from the UK who have ordered through the link before. If you're talking about Tangem, they ship worldwide. We have tons of UK users here on the channel. Ledger should also ship to the UK. So I would try again, maybe try a different browser, but something probably went wrong. But they definitely ship to the UK. Flatsmack doesn't trust ChatGPT. Redline says, supposedly we're able to do a withdraw appeal, show a video of our face and ID and other info, and they'll unfreeze, withdraw, and close our account. Haven't done it yet, but heard it works. Yeah, that's pretty common. Like when you're trying to unlock your account, they will ask for things like a face ID or like a selfie, and then your physical ID and things like that. That's pretty common. Can XRP be staked? And if so, can I stake it on my Tangent wallet? XRP is not a cryptocurrency that can be staked. The only cryptocurrencies that can technically be staked are cryptocurrencies that operate on a proof of stake network. XRP is not a proof of stake network. Examples of cryptocurrencies that are proof of stake that operate on a proof of stake network would be Ethereum and Solana. Just a couple examples. Now, there are some workarounds that you can technically stake your XRP, but it's not real staking. It's like a made up version of staking. And in my opinion, it's extremely high risk. I wouldn't personally recommend staking your XRP. But to answer your question, no cold wallet is going to offer native XRP staking because it doesn't exist. Joe says, I'm 59 years old. And Joe, you're 59 years young. But Joe says Tangent was easy to set up. I'm glad to hear that. Stacking for retirement says a Tangent wallet tutorial is perfect. If I can follow it, anyone can. I'm glad to hear that, and I appreciate you giving your honest feedback on that. Davey Boy says moved all my crypto from Binance to Tangent. CZ, who's the CEO of Binance, I believe, still is losing billions over this. Yeah, probably so. What does it mean when X is giving APR if I send them funds and protected? Is X turning into a wallet or exchange? There's X Cash, but I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Let's see here. Tangible material, perfect. Where are we at? I have about 5K locked on MiCA currently, so I'm still able to trade with it until I request a withdrawal appeal. If I would get, I would not be trading. I would get your crypto off of MiCA as fast as possible. Do that withdrawal appeal and get it done. That doesn't sound like a platform you want to stick around on. You definitely don't want to keep any crypto on any exchange, but the fact that they're already giving you issues, that would be all the motivation I need to get my crypto out of, excuse me, get out of there ASAP. Get it out of there as soon as possible. Let's see. Jesus is God of all says, what is MiCA law? So MiCA, or markets in crypto assets regulation, is a new law that takes effect in Europe and parts of Europe July 1st, depending on what part of the world you're in. That's right now. It's basically a an all-in-one crypto law that all crypto companies operating in Europe, they now have to abide by this new law. Basically, they have to get a new license. It's the MiCA license to continue operating in the EU. And any crypto company that doesn't get this license is not able to offer, most of the services. So Binance is one example. They withdrew their application. They don't have this MiCA license. So now they're not able to onboard new users. So no one can sign up for Binance in certain EU countries. You can't buy crypto. You can't set buy and sell orders. You can't stake crypto because they don't have this license that is now required. And this license is really designed apparently to protect, crypto exchange users. Um, Anyways, Binance, because of this, you can still withdraw your crypto and sell your crypto. You can basically only exit using Binance now. And so they were recommending to get your crypto off of Binance until they could get this figured out. Kelly Diggs says, thank you for your message, brother. I appreciate it. Live and love always. I appreciate you, Kelly. Thank you. I like Hashback, especially for staking. What's your thoughts? Yes or no? I've never used it. 3% on everything is solid and 6% on idle. What are your thoughts on iTrust holding crypto? Would never do it. Again, it's not, you don't actually own your crypto on iTrust. Now, they told me that you do. On a technical level, the only way you actually own and control your crypto is by owning the keys to your crypto. That is the only way to truly own your crypto. If you are allowing a company to hold your crypto for you, you do not own that crypto on a technical level. Sure, maybe on a legal level you do, but there's a reason why exchanges, which I guess iTrust isn't technically, it's not an exchange in the traditional sense like Coinbase, but there's a reason that these companies can freeze your funds, lock your accounts, close your accounts. That's because and leaving you unable to access your crypto. That's because they actually own and control the crypto. So, not something I would do personally. How many seed phrases can I generate on Ledger and use at the same time? One. Most wallets only allow you to generate and use one seed phrase at a time. If you're looking for a wallet that allows you to manage multiple seed phrases, my personal recommendation would be something like, well, I've got a couple different answers here. One option to manage multiple seed phrases in one wallet is to use a passphrase. So a passphrase, or the hidden wallet feature, actually allows you to add an additional word or phrase on top of your existing seed phrase. And when you do this, it creates a completely separate wallet from your seed phrase wallet with its own set of receiving addresses. It basically gives you access to new wallets, and you can create an unlimited number of passphrase wallets from your one seed phrase wallet. Now, pretty much every hardware wallet has this passphrase feature, and you can quickly switch between the passphrase wallets in the hardware wallet app. So you could do that. That's one option. If you're looking for a wallet that actually supports multiple seed phrases, I would go with something like the Era wallet, ERA. It allows you to generate and manage 10 different seed phrases in one device. Is API connection to exchanges and wallets on Coinly actually safe? On a platform like Coinly and other reputable platforms, yes, it is safe. Will the Nexo platform be affected by this law? If Nexo is a crypto company operating in the EU, then yes, it is. It is under this law. Whether it will be affected depends on whether or not Nexo has got the MiCA license or not. Is MetaMask fairly secure enough for using it for small transactions and trading, not long-term holds? I have NanoX for long-term and planning on getting Tangent because I'm sick of Ledger's crappy battery. Yeah, I mean, I've been using MetaMask for 6 years. I've had a lot of good times with it. I haven't had any major scares or issues, and I use it for all my sketchy DeFi trades and stuff like that. So I would say yes. And definitely, if you are planning on getting a Ledger or sorry a Tangem, again that link in the description, they have 20% off right now. Plus, you still get free Bitcoin. So definitely take advantage of the link if you're getting a Tangem wallet in the description. One question: what about if you have sell orders or sell price points? Well, that's up to you. If you think uh, if you think it's worth risking your crypto and leaving it on an exchange and not actually owning and controlling your crypto is worth being able to set, buy and sell orders, then that's your choice. I don't think it's worth it. I have all my crypto on a self-custodial cold wallet. I'm not going to keep it on an exchange just because I can set a sell order. To me, the pros far outweigh the cons of keeping your crypto on a cold wallet. It's not going to do you any good to have a sell order if you can't access your funds for some reason. So that's how I think about it. I use Uphold and they let me transfer every 7 days to my cold wallet. Sounds about standard, honestly. Did you talk about how to reset Tangent Wallet and create the 12-word key? I did talk about that, but I have a video on how to do that. If you just type in missed Tangent Wallet seed phrase on YouTube, go watch that video. And I'll show you exactly how to do that step by step. Hidden Gem says, hey, brother, just want to thank you for making a clean, very simple YouTube video on how to transfer crypto from exchange to Ledger. Appreciate that. Cool. I'm glad you found that video helpful. I appreciate you coming with the feedback and letting me know. Thank you. Servanto or Servant. Anyways, thanks for the $4.99 donation. Very generous of you. But you also have a question. Does Tangem allow swap limit order just like in trust wallets? If not, why? Swap limit orders. What do you mean by swap limit orders? So you can't set buy and sell orders in the Tangem wallet, but you can swap crypto and things like that. But you can't set any orders. Why? I don't know. It is something that I think all cold wallets would benefit from offering. Heard scary info about AI being able to hack cold wallets. Your thoughts? Sounds like complete FUD. There was one story where they titled it, they headlined it as AI hacks cold wallet, but that wasn't actually true at all. So yeah, I mean, that's not even a thing. Now AI is a big threat to a lot of different crypto contracts and things like that. Like it is able to find a lot of vulnerabilities, but as far as hardware wallets, there's no truth to that yet. I don't believe so. What about if you have sell orders? Keeping it in Tangent won't work. You could just sell your crypto manually. Why do you need a sell order? Just keep your eyes on the market. When it's time to sell, you hit the sell button. Is Uphold safe? Uphold is a crypto exchange, not a place to keep crypto. Crypto exchanges are not intended to be a place to hold crypto. You want to hold your crypto on a self-custodial wallet, which is one where you own the keys, meaning you own the crypto, and you want that self-custodial wallet to be a hardware wallet or a cold wallet, same thing, meaning the keys are held offline. Uphold is a centralized custodial wallet, meaning they own the keys to your crypto. Therefore, they own your crypto, meaning they can freeze your funds, lock your account, close your account. They ultimately decide what you can and can't do with your crypto. As long as your crypto is on their platform, you don't actually own it. Let's see. I noticed on Coinbase when you transfer funds to Ledger, they give you a notice that you can switch to USDC for free. However, if you switch over to make it free, that triggers a trade for IRS. Yes, it would be a trade if you're swapping one crypto for another. But what determines if you would actually owe taxes would be if that trade resulted in a profit. So if you bought, let's say you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin for $1,000, and then you instantly switch it to USDC, which is also $1,000, there's no profit or loss there. So even though it's technically a taxable event, there's no, you're not going to owe crypto, or you're not going to owe money because there was no profit made on that transaction. John says, got a small reward from Coinbase and they froze it till 2029. That's crazy. Diaper Don made crypto's reputation worse. People said he was good for crypto. I'm not sure who that is. Cyber Snowden Skrilla is fire. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate that. Let's see. I used your discount code for Tangent Wallet and made the transfer from Coinbase super easy for a beginner. Thanks for your video walkthrough. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that walkthrough is helpful. I'm glad you got your crypto off of Coinbase for starters, and I'm glad you did it safely. So appreciate you sharing that. What to do with Canton? Tangent doesn't support it. With Canton, I would, because a lot of hardware wallets that I know of don't support it yet. If there's a software wallet app that supports Canton, I would set up a wallet with that app and send it from the exchange to that wallet. That way, it's at least in a self-custodial wallet. That's what I would do. You should do a video on safes to protect your hardware wallet, like small ones to use and bigger ones. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, but to be honest, like a lot of safes won't actually protect your hardware wallet from fires. If that's what you're talking about. Because it gets so hot inside of a safe, your hardware wallet would likely melt. So, what's even more important to protect than your hardware wallet is the seed phrase. And a lot of people keep their seed phrase on a piece of paper. Don't keep your seed phrase on a piece of paper. Why would you keep the one key that's used to access your crypto on a piece of paper that could be destroyed by your morning coffee or, worst case, a fire or flood? So instead of focusing on protecting your hardware wallet, you should really focus on protecting your seed phrase. One of the simplest ways to do that is to just use a metal seed phrase plate. Now you can find these on Amazon, or I like to use the Keystone 3 Pro, which is available on their website. But this will withstand a fire, especially if you put it in a safe. So I would focus more on getting your seed phrase stored on a metal seed phrase plate than what safe is best for your hardware wallet when it comes to fires, at least. I used your link to buy my Tangent wallets and help 2 friends order theirs using your link also. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate your support. And I'm sure your friends appreciate you helping them get a cold wallet. Maybe you'll help them set it up, but you sound like a good friend. So props to you. Let's see. Thank you for the insightful education you offer some of us who are new to crypto. God bless you, bro. Appreciate that. Is it not safe to leave some crypto with sell limits on MEXC, OKX, and Binance Web3 wallets? I personally wouldn't. Again, there's a sweet spot for everyone. If that's something you want to do, if that's what you feel comfortable doing. It's not to say that it's instantly not safe. It's just not as safe as it could be, right? I don't believe in holding crypto, any crypto that I wouldn't want to lose. I don't believe in holding it outside of a self-custodial hardware wallet. That's just what I live by. If you don't have that same belief or opinion, or if you don't feel a certain way about that, then that's your own choice. That's okay. I personally wouldn't do it. I just got my Tangent wallet. Unfortunately, I'm an older investor and greatly need assistance. Any suggestions? Maybe I should reach out to the Tangent staff. A couple things. I would be extremely, extremely cautious about reaching out to anyone for help when it comes to crypto, especially setting up or dealing with hardware wallets. More often than not, people get scammed. Even if you think you're talking to Tangent support, you might not be. It really depends. Their scammers are really tricky. So you have to be extremely careful. Also, Tangent probably isn't going to be much help, honestly. They can help if you have like very specific issues, but if it just comes to setting up and using your wallet, I would start with my Tangent Wallet user guide, which is linked in the description of this video. It shows you how to set it up, how to transfer crypto to it, how to use the wallet. But be extremely, extremely cautious reaching out to people for help in crypto because, again, most people aren't going to help you and almost everyone is out to scam you. And that's just a fact. So be careful. Rob says you've been a great help cyberscaler for 2 years, and Tangent is great for news and info on lots of crypto gains, losses, and trending crypto that can be used for swapping purposes. Yeah, that's a good point. I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad you're enjoying your wallet. What address do I use when using dynamic addresses? You use whatever address it shows you. That's the point of dynamic addresses. It gives you a new Bitcoin address every time. I saw a bunch of Tangent cards on Kijiji for sale in Ontario. I was wondering if they were fake too. I don't know what Kijiji is, but there's never been a fake Tangent wallet. But again, when it comes to buying hardware wallets, I would never buy a hardware wallet outside of the manufacturer's website. That's just my personal thing that I stick with. I feel we have bottomed. Can we be sure and buy the dip? No, nobody knows. You buy whenever you feel like it's time to buy. As far as when someone is sending you crypto, again, use whatever address the wallet generates for you. I frequently get SMS messages with access codes to various apps that I've never heard of, sometimes also apps that I use. What's the reason behind it? Should I be worried? Anything to do with SIM swap? That wouldn't be a SIM swap. If your phone is SIM swap, you would know it because your phone would actually lose service because someone actually took your SIM basically from your phone. So you actually wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be able to use your phone. That would be the main sign of being SIM swapped. The reason you're getting random messages with access codes to various apps is there's usually a link attached to those messages, and they want you to click that link to try to figure out what's going on. And then that turns into some kind of scam. So that's the beginning of the scam. I would report all those messages as spam or just delete them and don't worry about them. Can we now start DCA on Bitcoin? You can DCA Bitcoin whenever you want. Staking is simple, just follow the instructions. Yeah, I mean, whatever platform you stake crypto on, there's literally step-by-step instructions. It's usually just pressing a couple buttons and you're staking crypto. While withdrawing, can you use a VPN or a virtual private network? It really depends. A lot of crypto exchanges will let you use a VPN. Using a VPN with some exchanges will cause issues because it makes it appear as if you're in a different location than you're usually accessing your account from, which can cause issues that could lead your account to being locked or your funds being frozen. So you have to be very careful using a VPN with certain crypto exchanges because some crypto exchanges are sensitive. If you have that fear, it might be best to just disable your VPN just to do that transaction, and then you could turn it back on. But be careful using a VPN when using a crypto exchange. Even Coinbase has admitted that this can cause issues. Just depends. We got another super chat from Debon. Appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. I just bought a Trezor Safe 7, but I haven't set it up. Does it support all tokens such as XRP, XDC, XLM, Ondo, HBAR? So one way you can check that, because it's the same way that I'm going to check it, is go to Trezor's website, which is trezor.io. And I can show you this. You can do this with any hardware wallet. If you're wondering if a wallet supports the coins that you own, go to the wallet's website, tap coins, and then you just go here and you just start typing in the coins you want to see if it supports. So we'll type in HBAR. As you can see, we're looking at all models if we want to filter by Trezor Safe 7. I like to keep it on all, but I guess we'll do this. It looks like you can buy and sell HBAR, but you can't receive it. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know if it supports HBAR. It doesn't seem like it does. Another one, we can type in Ondo. So it does support Ondo, does it support XRP? You can see it does support XRP because it says Trezor Suite app. XLM, does it support XLM? It looks like it does support XLM as well. So that would be, that's how you check that. Now, as far as Trezor Safe 7 versus Decent, two completely opposite wallets. The Trezor Safe 7 is 100% open source, and Trezor really has built their brand on being transparent, whereas Decent is 100% closed source, and they don't have any plans on open sourcing their wallet. Now, when it comes to the open source versus closed source argument, when it comes to cold wallets, if something is 100% closed source, then that means you're putting all of your trust into the hardware wallet company, that they don't have any backdoors, that there's no bad actors at the company, because ultimately you don't know what is in that hardware wallet. If there was a backdoor that they could later use to access that wallet and take your crypto, you wouldn't know, because all of the code that is used to create that wallet is kept private with the company, which is the case with Decent, and which is why I don't recommend Decent hardware wallets and why I will never personally use it. Whereas a Trezor Safe 7, again, 100% open source. Anyone can review the code if you have the technical know-how to do that. You can go and check all their security claims. You can check for backdoors, but also we can rely on security researchers who are checking this stuff for us. But ultimately, that's the decision there is closed source versus open source, and if you're okay using a 100% closed source wallet. So. Let's see. Let's see. Salute Skrilla, alpha updates. Best way to SCA on a P2P exchange. I don't know what SCA means. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what SCA means. Let's see. Please suggest a Tangem to have swap limit orders like those in Trust Wallet so that we can transact efficiently without using exchanges. I'm not sure what you mean. Like any wallet that you're using to swap crypto, you're interacting with exchanges. Crypto wallets are not exchanges. Even Trust Wallet uses exchanges. So, can I do gig work for Bitcoin? You could mine Bitcoin. That's how you can contribute and potentially earn money. What happens if you buy XRP in July? Then you buy XRP in July. I don't know. What is Kraken account app in Kraken? Is that a debit bank account for crypto and fiat? I'm not exactly sure what you mean with the Kraken account app. I don't know what that is. Tangem is really easy by watching his videos on YouTube. I got friends that told me about Tangem and they still are clueless on all the navigating because they just store and look at their balance. Sounds about right. Kelly says I DCA weekly, and if I deposit that in my cold wallet weekly, I pay much higher fees than if I hold my purchases for a few weeks. Yeah, whatever works for you. If it works to deposit it every month instead, then that's what works. I still get FedEx Tangem letters for duties for custom fees or something like that. Thoughts? I've ordered 10 different Tangem wallets. I've never gotten those letters, so maybe just ignore them or send them to Tangem. I don't know. I wouldn't act on them though. Let's see. Do you know why Tangem doesn't allow us to hold DAG on it? Just because it's not a crypto that it supports. Until they support it, you won't be able to hold it. Clarity Act coming when? I mean, I think we were supposed to have something by July 4th, but who knows at this point. Should that 2FA Google Authenticator app be on a separate phone, airplane mode? No, doesn't need to be. Absolutely not. How to remove fingerprint to open Tangem app and set up YubiKey to open Tangem instead. Is that possible? YubiKey is not, that's not how that works. YubiKey is for two-factor authentication. Tangem does not require two-factor authentication. It doesn't work with YubiKey. The fingerprint is more than secure. If you want to remove the fingerprint and you want something that's more of a code, then you disable the biometric option in the Tangem wallet settings. and that will require that you enter your access code every time you access a wallet. So if you prefer that, that's what you can do. What about Uphold Self Custody Vault? That is a hot wallet. It's a self custodial wallet, but it's a hot wallet. You don't want to hold your crypto on hot wallets. They are prone to all the threats of the internet, like malware. So if your device gets some kind of malware, then your Uphold Self Custody Vault is at risk as well. Again, we don't want to look for shortcuts and workarounds to avoid using a cold wallet. Cold wallets are easy to use, and for the last 12 years, they've been proven the most secure way to secure your crypto when used correctly. So we already have the solution. You just got to take action. Is there a tutorial available for Trezor Safe 7? Yes. If you just type in on YouTube, Trezor Safe 7 user guide or tutorial, my video will pop up. Will the Clarity Act be passed? I'm sure it will. A few of these social media apps are offering hot wallets to tip influencers. So many people are going to lose money by holding their crypto there. Yikes. Doesn't sound good. Redline says, I appreciate your service, Skrilla. I feel you're the most underrated crypto YouTube channel that every newbie and vet should be sub to. Thank you. I appreciate that. Does MiCA affect you if you use your Trezor cold wallet? No. In fact, that's why you want to use cold wallets, is these regulations won't affect you directly. Redline, waiting for my new ID, and I'll be doing my appeal and moving crypto to my NanoX ASAP. Awesome. A cold wallet, right? Yes, cold wallet. Do you have a question about cold wallets, or you just verifying that's what it's called? Which cold wallet to hold Canton? We don't know. Yeah, I mean, the only cold wallet that apparently holds Canton is well, let me see. Oh, it looks like is CipherRock, and CipherRock is not a hardware wallet that I'd recommend anyone use. So we just have to wait until more of these hardware wallets support Canton. I'll reach out to Tangem and see if they can't implement it quicker. What about Ledger Flex? Ledger Flex is awesome. And right now, using the link in the description, you actually get like $70 of free Bitcoin if you buy a Ledger Flex using my link. That deal ends July 3rd, so you have a few more days. But the Ledger Flex is awesome. The Ledger Nano Gen 5 is just as awesome. Any Ledger touchscreen wallet I'd recommend, especially over the older models, for sure. Can I use the same seed phrase on two cold wallets? Yes, you can. You can use the same seed phrase on any wallet. The seed phrase is the key, and the hardware wallet is just a device used to access the key. But just know you're not getting double as security. Meaning, if you use, let's say you have a Trezor wallet and you have a Ledger wallet, and they're both using the same seed phrase, if your Trezor wallet gets hacked because you expose the seed phrase, your Ledger wallet would also be hacked, because ultimately the key determines the security of your crypto, not the actual hardware wallet, right? So if your key is compromised, then both of your hardware wallets would be compromised. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve by using the same seed phrase in two hardware wallets. If your goal is diversification and additional security, then you would want to use two separate seed phrases. If you just want to have two different hardware wallet devices, like one as a backup that you can use to access your seed phrase, then sure, use two different hardware wallets and use the same seed phrase in each one. You can definitely do that. Is my crypto safe on Ledger Nano X due to the MiCA regulation or the MiCA regulation? Absolutely, it is. How fast Trezor Safe 7 signed transactions versus Ledger Flex? Is Trezor better? They're both the same. I mean, it's the press of a button and you're good. Just buy Tangem supports almost every coin you need except Canton. Yeah, Tangem supports a lot of cryptocurrencies. Worthy of Love says, I know Decent is closed source, but it's the only wallet I found that holds DAG. Was going to at least hold on Decent until DAG gets added to Tangem. Better than keeping on an exchange, right? Yeah, probably. There also might be some hot wallets that are open source that support DAG. Do I know anything about XRP nodes? Nope, I don't. I'm nervous about giving CoinLedger my login credentials for Kraken and Coinbase. What is the safest way to do taxes? The safest way is really to use a crypto tax software. You're It's fine to log in using Coinbase. Nothing's going to happen with doing that. You're just giving them read-only access to those accounts. So I've been doing it for 5 years. Why does it take Kraken 7 days to allow me to move my crypto to Tangent wallet? Just part of their AML laws and regulations. It's probably waiting for your funds to clear your bank account. So that's how it goes. Is my crypto safe, and can I still trade USDT on my Ledger Nano X with the EU MiCA regulation? Yes. And as long as your crypto's on a cold wallet, that's the best case scenario. That's the best position you could be in right now. Maria says, thank you, Cyberscriller. This has been very educational. You are awesome. Have a great day, Maria. Thank you. Can I earn a yield on my XRP while keeping it on my cold wallet? Potentially, but as far as I know, there's no cold wallet that's offering native yield on XRP. So I plan to hold Bitcoin long term and currently have it on exchanges. I plan to use a cold wallet like Tangent. Do you know what the fee is to transfer? I hope that makes sense. Absolutely, Andy. You should definitely, if you're holding your Bitcoin long term, get it off the exchanges like ASAP. As far as the fee to transfer Bitcoin, again, fees are not determined by what wallet you're using. They're really just determined by the blockchain network. For Bitcoin, fees are generally considered higher, but I transfer Bitcoin at least once a month. The fees for me to transfer Bitcoin from the exchange to my Tangent wallet, you're looking at around, I don't know, like $3. So maybe less right now. It's not bad at all. Meow says, what if devs just show you clean source code but compile malware into their shipping program? You can never know for sure. There are actually ways to verify the firmware that you're using in the wallet, because again, it's the firmware that determines what is running in your wallet. So like when you go and download the new firmware from the wallet's website, you could then go and verify that firmware. That's how you would know. Is the only time you need a seed phrase if you lose, destroy your wallet? Exactly. You don't need a seed phrase to verify transactions. A seed phrase is really just the key used to access your wallet. So if you ever lose your wallet or it's destroyed, you would then take that key, enter it into a new wallet, and you would regain access to all your crypto. A lot of people think you need your seed phrase every time you want to like send crypto or buy or sell crypto. You don't. You would only ever need your seed phrase to regain access to your wallet if for some reason you lose access to it. Is this law going to enforce Exodus Wallet? Exodus Wallet is not an exchange. They're not. They don't offer like crypto services. All their crypto services are provided by external companies, and those companies are affected. But again, if you're holding crypto on Exodus, that's not a place to hold your crypto. You want to get it into a cold wallet. Exodus is a hot wallet. It is prone to all the threats of the internet. How many Tangent wallets can I add? How many wallets can I add on a Tangent wallet? Will each wallet have its own seed phrase on the one Tangent card? Okay, so Tangent, you need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one wallet. So with 2 cards, both those cards will have the same seed phrase. It'll be the same wallet. As far as how many wallets you can create with the cards and with your Tangent app, the Tangent app supports up to 50 different sets of cards, meaning you could have 50 different wallets, all with their own seed phrase. But just know each wallet, you would need at least 2 cards. So to have 50 wallets, you would technically need 100 cards. But they would all have, each 2 pair of card would have their own seed phrase. For example, on my phone right now, on one of my phones, I have 3 Tangent wallets, all with their own seed phrase, all in the same app. So like if you are going to get a Tangent wallet, which I do recommend right now, you get 20% off plus free Bitcoin using the link in the description of this video. But if you want multiple wallets, just get the family pack. The family pack comes with 6 cards. With 6 cards, you can create 3 wallets. So that'll be 2 cards per wallet. Each one will have its seed phrase. CryptoCoin says, you're a legend, mate. Very informative. All the best. Thank you. I appreciate that. Justice says, great job. Any updates on the gentleman who lost $3 million in XRP? Was he able to recover any of it? That story is what drove me to the Tangent wallet in the first place. Yeah, you're talking about Brandon LaRoque. So he kind of fell off the face of YouTube, at least after that whole thing. As far as I know, there's no way he'll be able to recover that. the crypto was gone. It was already too late. But I don't know how he's doing. Hopefully he's well. But he made a couple more videos after that, and then he just fell off the face of the earth. I think I found him on Facebook, and he's still active there, but I don't know what's going on. Why did Tangem want to charge me $400 to move XRP? That doesn't make any sense. And Tangem doesn't charge you anything to move XRP. It's the network that would charge you money. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest. Devon already answered your question. I appreciate the donation again. But can you earn yield on XRP in a cold wallet? So no cold wallet is offering a way to earn yield on XRP natively. Now there is that thing like people are doing with the Flare and XRP staking. That's not real staking. If you do that with your cold wallet, just know that you are putting your cold wallet at risk. That's the only way that I'm aware of to earn yield on XRP is to do the whole Flare staking thing, which is not something I'd recommend. Stargazer wallet also holds DAG. Is that safer than Decent? Those are the only two wallets that I know that hold DAG. I don't know what Stargazer is. It's probably some hot wallet. Couldn't tell you if it's a good one. Is it okay to use hot wallets, bro, if we don't want to go hardware wallet route? Look, Stark, if your goal is to secure your crypto, a hot wallet will not do that. Trying to take a shortcut by not using and avoiding cold wallets, at that point, just don't own crypto. And I'm not trying to be rude, but if you're not willing to take the one extra simple step to secure your crypto, you may as well not own it. A cold wallet is an investment just as much as owning crypto is. And a cold wallet or a hardware wallet is literally just as easy to use as a hot wallet. If you can use a hot wallet, you can use a cold wallet. You can get a Tangem wallet right now for $40. You have zero excuse to not get for not getting a cold wallet. Again, not trying to be rude, but it's just pure laziness. It makes zero sense why you wouldn't want to secure your investments. That's like saying, hey, if I have $5,000, is it okay if I just leave it sitting on the table at the restaurant, rather than keeping it in my pocket? Yeah, you could. It'll probably get taken from you, though. Probably not the most responsible thing to do. Yeah. And it just doesn't make sense. Hot wallets have been proven to not be secure. It's not a long-term option for storing crypto. Andy the Wildcard says, thank you for the response. So hypothetically, if I had 2 Bitcoin, I can transfer that amount to a cold wallet for low fees. The fees have been my deterrent. Oh, absolutely. 2 Bitcoin, you're going to pay for 2 Bitcoin, for example, it's going to be like under $10. It's not going to be expensive. How many coins can one wallet hold? There's no limit to the amount of crypto a wallet can hold. If you had $1 trillion, a wallet can hold that. That's because crypto wallets don't actually hold any crypto. Crypto lives on the blockchain. That's where all crypto transactions take place. A crypto wallet simply holds the keys that are used to access and manage your crypto accounts on the blockchain. So in the case of a hardware wallet, the keys that are used to access your crypto on the blockchain are held offline on that physical device in a secure environment. And that's why it's one of the most secure ways to hold your crypto. And that's the common saying is like you hold your crypto on a hardware wallet or you hold your crypto on an exchange. You're not actually holding your crypto on any of those platforms or tools. Your crypto is always on the blockchain. You're actually holding your keys on these devices that simply give you access to your crypto on the blockchain. And that's why there's no limit to how much crypto a wallet can hold because they don't hold crypto. Worthy of Love said, I set up my Tangem, 2 Tangem cards and a ring on the same wallet. Is it possible to unlink a card so I can use another wallet? You can't really unlink it. No. Stark says, okay, I will get one. I moved everything to Trust Wallet from XC because of the MiCA law. First thing I will do is educate myself on Tangem and then buy one. Yeah, and again, I understand if you're hesitant or just kind of scared to do it, but if it's just like pure laziness, I mean, you got to get over that and just get the wallet. Because what would suck is you keep your crypto on Trust Wallet and you wake up one day and your crypto is no longer there because Trust Wallet experienced another hack or something, right? And again, Stark, I I have my Tangent Wallet user guide in the description. I would start there. I also have a Tangent Wallet playlist on my channel. We'll answer literally everything. But if you already knew how to send your crypto from MEXC to Trust Wallet, I have full confidence that you'll be able to easily send your crypto from Trust Wallet to Tangent. You already know that process. That's what most people struggle with when using a cold wallet. You already have proven to me that you know how to send crypto. So now all you have to do is get a wallet and set it up. And that's just as easy as doing it on Trust Wallet. It's the same process. So to me, it sounds like you're more than capable. I know you are. It's just about biting the bullet and actually getting the wallet. CryptoCoin says, can I still convert and trade USDT on another cryptocurrency on Ledger? Yes, you can. What is the best cold wallet to use? Best is subjective. So best really depends on your experience level, kind of what you enjoy doing. In my experience, after testing more than 40 different crypto wallets, I think Tangent is the most enjoyable to use. I like that you don't have to charge it. I like it's just your phone and a card. You just scan it and things work. I like Tangent. I like Ledger, but I would say Tangent is like my overall favorite wallet when it comes to usability. For the FedEx question earlier, yes, you may get a bill from FedEx if you order a hardware wallet and it does not ship from a domestic warehouse. This happened to me when I ordered the cold card queue. I wouldn't even call FedEx. I mean, I don't know. To me, I would maybe just send it to Tangent and let them deal with it. Andy says, wow, I was not aware of that. Thank you so much for the live session. I will order my Tangent wallet ASAP. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the good questions. And understandable about the being hesitant of transferring Bitcoin. But yeah, let me know. Again, the link in the description, it'll get you a nice discount on your Tangent wallet. You also get some free Bitcoin. And the way that free Bitcoin works when you order your Tangent wallet, just know you will receive 2 emails. The first one, just like when you order anything, is your order confirmation email, just saying, hey, you bought a Tangent wallet. The second email, which you should receive directly after, is for the free Bitcoin. It will be instructions on how to claim that free Bitcoin. If you don't see that email, make sure to check your spam folder. That's where it often lands. Once you get your Tangent wallet and set it up, you'll just go to that email, you'll claim your free Bitcoin, and then after 14 days, the Bitcoin will arrive in your Tangent wallet. And that free Bitcoin you receive will probably cover the fees that you need to transfer or that you'll spend transferring the Bitcoin to your wallet. So I think that'll work out perfectly. But yeah, to get the free Bitcoin and the discount, just use the link in the description of this video and you'll be good. Let's see. Can you repeat what the MiCA law is? I've missed it. MiCA law is Europe's new crypto law. It basically is a requirement now for all the crypto companies across Europe to operate. So there's over 1,200 crypto companies in Europe, and they now they need a MiCA license to operate. And MiCA is really just it does a lot of different things, but ultimately it was created to protect crypto users. But what has happened is any crypto company operating in certain parts of Europe or the EU who don't have this new MiCA license, which is required July 1st, they are not able to offer many of their services. So Binance, which is the biggest crypto exchange in the world, they have not received this, or they haven't gotten this license yet. So starting July 1st, they are not able to basically operate as an exchange anymore. You can't buy crypto. You can't create an account on Binance in parts of Europe. You can't trade crypto. You can't stake crypto. So Binance was sending out messages to affected users saying to think about withdrawing your crypto to a self-hosted wallet or a cold wallet for this reason. And basically, this is just a big eye opener, not just for Europe, but for everyone and anyone who holds crypto on an exchange. Is that if you hold your crypto on an exchange, you don't actually own that crypto. It's not in your control. So good idea to get your crypto off the exchanges now. And this is just a great example of why. Between Trust and Tangent is way better, right? Because it's cold versus hot wallet. Yeah, Tangent is going to be more secure. It's a better overall wallet. But yeah, cold wallet versus hot wallet, there's no comparison there. Cold wallets are designed to be secure. Hot wallets can be secure, but ultimately, if your goal is to secure your crypto, you need to secure the keys to your crypto. The way you do that is you remove them from your internet connected device. And the way you do that is you send your crypto to a cold wallet where your keys are held offline. I want to hold 2K to 5K XLM for like 10 years. So you think it's safe? So you think is safe also safe on the exchange? No, holding crypto on an exchange is not safe. I would never recommend that. I would never personally do that. If you're holding crypto, you need to get it off the exchange. Crypto exchanges are not meant to hold crypto. Crypto exchanges have already admitted this. Kraken literally says we are not a savings platform. We are not a cryptocurrency wallet. If you're holding crypto, get it into a cold wallet. That's simple. If I have crypto on Trust Wallet, is it best to move to a cold wallet due to MiCA? It is not best to move crypto to a cold wallet because of MiCA. It is best to move crypto to a cold wallet because that is the most secure way to hold crypto. Hot wallets are not designed to hold crypto. If you hold your crypto in a hot wallet, you are prone to all the hacks and malware that exist on the internet. So if you were to accidentally download malware onto one of your devices, that malware can then get a hold of your keys and steal your crypto. It happens all the time. This is why cold wallets were created. MiCA isn't the reason to use a cold wallet. The security that cold wallets provide is a reason to use a cold wallet. Crypto exchanges use cold wallets as part of their security protocol. So if these multi-billion-dollar companies are using cold wallets, why wouldn't us as retail investors use that same technology? It doesn't make any sense. The Horseman says, I bought the 3-pack of Tangem cards. Do all 3 use the same seed phrase or each one going to be different? So you need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one Tangem wallet. With the 3-pack, they're all going to be the same seed phrase. That's going to be one wallet. Let's see. How do you think the current U.S. administration policies are affecting crypto? Well, they're definitely eliminating privacy, which is always the goal, it seems. So that's what I've been seeing. Is there any way to earn while keeping tokens on a cold wallet? Yes. Not specifically with XRP, but almost every cold wallet, Tangem, Ledger, they all offer native staking. You can stake various cryptocurrencies. They also offer yield. You can earn yield on stable coins like USDT. In fact, Tangem right now, if you're using a Tangem wallet or if you're getting a Tangem wallet, if you buy a Tangem wallet using my link right now and then enable the yield. Wow, we just got kicked off there. I don't know. Maybe they're watching. They don't like what we're talking about here. Let's see. But yeah, anyways, is there a way to earn while keeping tokens on a cold wallet? Absolutely. You do not need to keep your crypto on exchanges to stake crypto and earn yield. You can do all that through a cold wallet. And like I was saying, Tangem, they're actually offering, I think, a 3x yield on USDT right now. If you use my link to buy your wallet, set up your Tangem wallet, and then enable the yield function on USDT or USDC, and you'll be good. Can we invest in tokenized gold or silver with our tokens on our cold wallet? I believe you can. Once you go on Tangem, I mainly lost interest in exchanges, knowing your crypto is out of the clutches of brokers and community pool of crypto. Yeah, I mean, and you can do everything from your cold wallet anyways, right? You can do everything you can do on a crypto exchange, you can do from your cold wallet. Buy crypto, sell crypto, swap crypto, stake, earn yield. And then with like Tangem, for example, you can now spend your crypto at over 100 million Visa terminals around the world using Tangem Pay. So literally these cold wallets have transformed from being just specific security devices to all-in-one crypto ecosystems where you can not just secure your crypto, but now you can buy, sell, swap, earn, make your crypto work for you, and spend your crypto in the real world. So I'm super excited where cold wallets are going. Good stuff. Is the Examine safe even if they're on the XRP ledger? I wouldn't use that wallet. I would just use a Tangem wallet, honestly. All that is a copycat Tangem wallet. It's literally a Tangem card branded as their wallet. So if I can understand you, Tangem is a cold wallet. Yes, Tangem is a cold wallet. I just got 3 Tangem card packs new, but I see some light scratches and little dirt. Is this normal? Yeah, it's just part of the packaging, I'm sure, but a lot of my Tangem cards have scratches as well. And if you're worried about like you got fake or used cards, not really a big deal. When you go to set up the Tangem wallet, the Tangem app verifies that the cards you're using are authentic. If they were fake, which there's never been a fake Tangem wallet, if they were fake, the Tangem app would tell you and you wouldn't be able to use them. What about Ledger? Ledger is also a cold wallet. Trezor's a cold wallet. OneKey is a cold wallet. Any physical device that's not a crypto app is going to be a cold wallet. Yeah. Carrie, what's going on? Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining. Robert says, thanks. I redid the order and I'll get my Tangem wallet in 5 to 11 days. Robert, you were in the UK, right? You were having problems with the order. I'm glad I worked for you and super excited that you're going to get your crypto off the exchanges and into cold storage. Good job. Props to you. Super cool. Jimmy says, thank you. You are the best. I appreciate that, Jimmy. Dwight says, what protections does Tangem have to prevent future regulations, changes trying to control moving, spending, buying crypto? So it's not Tangem that has that does anything to protect your rights. It is how crypto works. Most cryptocurrencies or many cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, they're decentralized, meaning no one person or entity controls your Bitcoin or your keys. That's why crypto is so revolutionary. Yet so many people give up that right when they decide to store their crypto on exchanges using a centralized company to store their crypto. You completely give that up when you choose to do that. But Tangem is basically, and cold wallets, they're basically decentralized wallets. Like they don't control your keys. They can't determine whether you can send or receive crypto. Those are all crypto native actions. No one can stop you from doing that. The only way that someone could stop you from doing that is if the entire Bitcoin network shut down or if Ethereum shut down, right? That's why you want to use self-custodial wallets because it puts you in full control. Now, of course, there are certain features that are offered through wallet apps like buying and selling and swapping crypto. All those features are provided by third-party companies. So they could technically disconnect those features, but it's not really a big deal because that doesn't change how you can manage your crypto. You could still send and receive your crypto as you please. Nobody can take that away from you because that is how the blockchain is designed to work, or at least most blockchains. Let's see. What about MPC wallets? Are they safe enough? I don't trust MPC wallets. Honestly, I need to do more research on them, but not something that I would trust to keep my crypto on. Absolutely not. What we know is we have 12 years of data to show that cold wallets are the most secure way to store your crypto, especially as retail individual investors. It just makes sense. You're taking a digital key and you're removing it from internet connected devices and putting them in offline devices that are specifically designed to store and protect cryptographic keys. To me, that just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. You take something that's digital, you remove it from a digital space, offline. And that secures it. That makes a lot of sense to me. Wouldn't it be funny if they made the top 40 crypto as collateral for the national debt? Talk about instant wealth. That would be that'd be pretty interesting. What if my phone doesn't support Tangem card? How can I use it? So Tangem is an NFC wallet, so your phone does need NFC. If your phone doesn't work, it doesn't have NFC, then you can't use Tangem. At that point, I would look at something like Ledger. I have a link down in the description for Ledger as well. They're offering up to $80 in free Bitcoin right now if you use my link to buy a Ledger wallet. Ledger will work with both your phone and computer, and it doesn't require NFC. It uses Bluetooth, or you can plug it in. So you just might have to look at another wallet, and that's okay. Ronnie, I appreciate the jewels. Thank you so much for your donation and your support. Thank you. Thank you. Dwight says, thanks. I just subscribed. I appreciate that, Dwight. And I appreciate the good question as well. Can you also give me an example of a hardware wallet and what is the advantage? What do you mean by an example? So I've got, like, you want a physical example? This is a hardware wallet. This is a hardware wallet. This is a hardware wallet. This is also a hardware wallet. So these are physical examples. They're physical devices. The advantage of a hardware wallet is, the simplest way I can explain it, If you want to secure your crypto, the way that you secure your crypto is you secure the keys that are used to access your crypto. It's kind of like the way that you secure your house is you lock your doors and you make sure that only you have access to the keys that opens the door to your house. It's the same thing with your crypto. Anyone who has your keys has access to your crypto. So your only goal when it comes to crypto security is to secure your keys. The way that you secure your keys, the best way that is backed by over a decade of data, is to remove them from your internet connected device and put them in a secure environment. And the tools that we have and use to do that are hardware wallets. So, for example, the Ledger Nano Gen 5. This is a physical device. It does not have an internet connection. And inside this device, there is something called a secure element chip. This is the same kind of chip used in bank cards and electronic passports, but it's specifically designed to protect cryptographic keys. And by removing your key from your internet connected device, now if your computer or phone gets malware, your key is untouched because it's not on your phone or your computer. It's on this physical device, which isn't connected to the internet. So not only does it protect you from digital threats, but it also protects you from physical threats. So even if someone got a hold of this physical device, they still won't be able to access my crypto because it's protected by a PIN code. And then if they had the technical know-how on, maybe on how to hack wallets, the secure element chip, which again is designed to protect the keys, will secure my chip, and they won't be able to access my crypto no matter what, whether it's a digital or physical format. That is a reason why you want to use a hardware wallet to secure your crypto. Again, crypto exchanges use hardware wallets like Bybit, which is one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, actually uses Ledger wallets as part of their security protocol to protect billions of dollars in their own and users' personal funds. So why wouldn't we as retail investors who have access to the exact same technology, the exact same devices that these billion-dollar companies are using, why wouldn't we use them to protect our crypto as well? All the data is there. Also, all the data shows that holding your crypto on an exchange is not safe. Holding your crypto in a hot wallet is not safe. We have plenty of data to back this. Let's see. Mimi says, I have Ledger, but thinking about switching to Tangent because of portability, but I am new and I'm afraid to mess things up. What are the pros and cons of Ledger versus Tangent, and which one do you like and why? So I'm a big fan of both. Like I started with Ledger. This wallet that I just showed you, this Ledger Nano X, this exact one was the first wallet I ever bought back in 2020. This was my first hardware wallet. So I'm a huge fan of Ledger. At this point, I own all of the Ledger wallets. But I also like Tangent. I've been using Tangent for 3 years. It is now my favorite overall hardware wallet. And to your point, it is portable. It's the most durable wallet you can buy. It's waterproof, temperature resistant. It's the only wallet that I'll ever travel with. The main difference, obviously, just looking at the two, Ledger has a screen. Tangent doesn't have a screen. So whereas Ledger, you confirm transactions on your physical Ledger device in conjunction with the Ledger app. With Tangent, you have the Tangent app on your phone and you just hold it up. You just hold the card up to your phone and that acts as your confirmation or your transaction approval. So that's really the main difference. Other than that, though, you have to understand that hardware wallets, cold wallets like Ledger and Tangent, they all do the same thing. They are all signing devices. They are all used to store your keys offline and secure them and sign crypto transaction in a secure environment. That is what every hardware wallet does. And most of them do that job securely. But a bigger aspect to consider is the usability aspect. Which wallet is actually enjoyable to use? Which wallet is easy to use? And I would say when it comes to usability and the whole user experience, Tangent has nailed it. I think the wallet is the easiest to use. It's kind of like using, like your bank account or a crypto exchange account. It's just really simple. It's straightforward. And because there's not a completely separate device that you have to another screen that you have to use, it just makes sense. Like we're all on our phones already. So just having to scan a card, it keeps things really straightforward and simple. I don't think you can go wrong with Ledger or Tangent. If you've already been using a Ledger wallet, you're going to have no issues using a Tangent wallet. Tangent is even easier to use than Ledger. So yeah, I mean, I'd say you got the green light at this point. Let's see. Trezor never fails me. Ledger always did. I'd be curious to know what you mean by Ledger failed you. Like the physical wallet actually failed? Would be curious to know. Thank you for your page and valuable advice. I have a lot of altcoins. Is Ledger also a good one for HBAR, Centrifuge? Yeah, Ledger is good for altcoins as well. It supports a lot of different currencies, including HBAR. Centrifuge, I don't know. But again, the way that you check if a wallet supports a certain cryptocurrency is you just go to the wallet's website and there's a coin support tab. You click that tab and then you can type in all the crypto you own and it will tell you if that wallet supports it. Dwight says, how won't getting a new phone affect the use of an existing Tangem? It doesn't affect your Tangem wallet at all. It's actually really simple. And you can use your Tangem wallet on multiple phones if you wanted to. But let's just say, for example, I have my Tangem set up on this phone, which is really old. But let's just say I originally set my Tangem wallet up on this phone and, I want the new iPhone. So I go and I get the new iPhone. So all I have to do, since my Tangem card is already set up, all I have to do with my new phone, step number 1, download the Tangem app onto my new phone. Step number 2, press the scan card or ring button when you open up the app. Step number 3, scan your Tangem card that's already set up. You'll scan it. And then step number 4, it will ask you to enter your access code, which is the code you create when you originally set up your Tangem wallet. And then step number 5, you might have to scan the card one more time, and then you're in. Now you can access your Tangem wallet on both phones. The important thing to note is that you will always need the physical Tangem card to approve a transaction. That's where the security aspect comes from. So just because you can see your portfolio on your Tangem app doesn't mean simply having it on your phone allows someone to access your Tangem wallet. You will always need the physical card to confirm transactions. But it's really simple. If you want to use your Tangem wallet on a new phone, you can easily do that. Or if you have like a significant other or partner or friend or someone that you also want to have access, you could just give them, if you have a 2-card pack, you get 1 card and you can give your significant other the other card. You both have the app on your phone. You can both see your portfolio. You can both approve transactions. Super cool. When you sell on Tangem, where does your cash go once your Tangem goes to the Visa card? So if you're talking about Tangem Pay and using Tangem Pay to spend crypto in the real world, just like it would with any debit card, the cash is sent to wherever you're spending your crypto at. So like if you go to Starbucks with Tangem Pay and your coffee costs $10, the $10 goes to Starbucks. Now, the way that it works in the back end is you have your Tangem Pay app with your crypto loaded on it. You'll basically scan it. And then a bunch of stuff happens in the back end. It basically, Tangem works with Visa's back end. It deducts the $10 from your Tangem Pay wallet. And then, there's some conversions that happen. And then Visa will send that money to Starbucks or whatever. So it all happens in the back end, but it goes where it needs to go. That's all we need to know. Can the government or financial institutions confiscate our crypto even though they are on cold wallets? No, they can't. That's the great thing about self-custody in crypto. The only thing that anyone can do to your crypto, or the only way that anyone can access your crypto when it's self-custodied, they need the keys to do it. So of course they can do court orders and things like that. They can force you or demand that you give them access to your wallet. But unless you actually comply, there's no way they could access your crypto. That is the beauty of truly decentralized cryptocurrency. Gorilla says, greetings, security master. There a way to turn a seedless Tangem card into a seed phrase one without having to move your crypto out and back in? No, there's no way to do that. Because when you're going from seedless to seed phrase, you are literally resetting your Tangem cards. You're completely erasing them and starting new. If you do that with crypto still on them, you will erase your keys that are attached to that crypto and you will lose all your crypto. I don't know if you saw the video, but it's really simple to do. I recommend watching the video and following the instructions. It's this video right here. Set up your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase quick fix. In this video, I show you exactly how to go from seedless wallet to seed phrase wallet and transfer your crypto. I show you everything in that video. It's really easy to do. Mimi says, I am more comfortable with using browser on my laptop and I don't want to rely on my phone app to operate in case I change my phone or lose it. That's fair. If you like using your laptop, then Tangem isn't going to work for you. That said, again, it's the same as using a laptop. If you lose your laptop, you're in the same situation as if you lose your phone. Now, I get it. You're probably more likely to lose your phone, but remember, your wallet isn't on your phone. Your wallet is on the Tangem card. So if you lose your phone, that doesn't mean you lose access to your Tangem wallet. You would get a new phone, you download the Tangem app, you scan your card, which has the keys to your crypto, and you'll be able to access your crypto again. So I wouldn't let that be the only determining factor of why you wouldn't use a mobile wallet like Tangem. And ultimately, as long as you have your seed phrase, even if you lose your phone and all of your Tangem cards, you always have access to your crypto because a seed phrase is the key to your crypto. So even if you lose your phone and your cards, you would take your seed phrase, enter it into a new wallet, and you have access to your crypto again. But I used to be like you. I used to only use browser wallets. I used to only use Ledger on my computer. Once I switched to Tangem, I mean, I haven't looked back. Yes, I still use Ledger. Yes, I'll still use. I prefer using my phone, but sometimes I'll access it Ledger Live on the computer. But I'm telling you, it's a game changer to be able to access your crypto on your phone and have the security of a hardware wallet still. Yeah, I would recommend trying it. Does Tangem or any other hardware wallet have multi-sig feature? You can set up a hardware wallet, any hardware wallet, as a multi-sig signer. You don't have to. Now, maybe it's not offered natively in the app, but whatever multi-sig platform you're using, whether it's safe, you can designate any wallet to be a multi-sig signer, whether that's Tangem, Ledger, Trezor, whatever it is. Is it possible that Tangem becomes KYC? Tangem is not a financial regulation or service. Tangem is a self-custodial wallet. It's not an exchange. So KYC doesn't even make sense. You don't need KYC to set up a wallet. That'd be like, do I need KYC to turn my computer on? It doesn't make any sense. What if you forget your PIN on Decent? As long as you have your seed phrase, that's the most important thing. You can always reset your hardware wallet, whether that's Decent or anything else, and it would reset to factory settings, and then you just enter your seed phrase again, and you're back in. Can the Tangem phone app be hacked? The Tangem app has never been hacked or compromised. Just to be clear, technically anything in the world can be hacked. Everything is secure until it isn't. But is it likely to be hacked? No. Has it ever been hacked? No. Also, if the Tangem app is hacked, you have to remember the keys to your crypto don't live on the Tangem app. If you're using a Tangem card, the keys live offline on the card. That's why you want to use a hardware wallet. So, should an update be done on Decent if requested? Absolutely. You should always be updating your hardware wallet's firmware. Firmware updates are crucial. The wallets that offer them, they're crucial for usability, for new features, new blockchain support, and security updates as well. You should be updating your hardware wallet at least every 3 months, in my opinion. What if I lose my phone? Can I not use the same phone number when I buy a new one? Your phone number has nothing to do with your wallet. You don't need your phone number is not linked to your wallet. Nothing to do with it. Again, if you lose your phone, you could lose 100 phones. You'll always be able to access your Tangem wallet. Again, you just download the Tangem app on your new phone. Like if you gave me your Tangem wallet, I have a completely different phone number. I could download the Tangem app on my phone. I can scan your card. And if you told me your access code, which only you know, I would be able to access it. Again, the key is stored on the card. To access your Tangem wallet, you need the card. The phone is just an app interface. So why do people get more wallet instead of one? Why people use more cold wallets and why I recommend diversifying your crypto eventually is for that reason, to spread your crypto across multiple wallets. The number one reason people lose money in crypto or lose crypto is user error. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. Even with a hardware wallet, if you're not using it correctly, you still risk messing up and losing your crypto. Now, it's not difficult to use a hardware wallet. A lot of people just don't take the time to learn how to use one. But by spreading your crypto into, let's say, 2 hardware wallets, you instantly split your risk in half. So that's why you'd want to do that. But I would say starting off, you don't need to worry about that. The main goal should be to get your crypto off of the exchanges and off the hot wallets into a cold wallet, and you're going to be good. Let's see. How do you download data from Tangent app for tax filing? For Ledger, I can download the CSV file and download to Coinly, but how do you do it with the phone app? Yeah, so like CoinLedger and all those, you don't, the CSV file is like the long way to do it. You just press the connect wallet button, and you're not actually connecting your wallet. You're just giving access to all the receiving addresses to all the read data. So you just use the receiving addresses. All CoinLedger does and all those crypto tax softwares, everything you do with your crypto is recorded on the blockchain. This is where your crypto lives. Every transaction is recorded there. All CoinLedger and the other crypto tax software does is it aggregates all the data from the blockchain, all the crypto exchanges you use, all your different wallet addresses. It takes all that data and then puts it into the tax software to link everything together, right? So it knows what you bought it for, knows your profit and loss, what you sold it for. So with Tangent, you just enter your wallet's receiving address, or you just press the connect wallet button. It doesn't give it access to your wallet. Again, it's just telling the software what your receiving address is so that it can go and pull that data from the blockchain. I set my card up without a seed phrase. Can I set it up with a seed phrase? You have to restart the entire process, and there is a correct way to do that. Just go watch this video. I made this video.
Meet Keystone, your ultimate.
Let's see. I made this exact video for people who want to go from seedless wallet to seed phrase. It's set up your Tangent wallet without a seed phrase quick fix. Go watch that video. It will show you exactly everything you need to do to go from seedless to seed phrase wallet. You don't need a new set of Tangent cards. You can reset it. But again, if you're thinking about getting a Tangent wallet, the link in the description, you get 20% off your order plus free Bitcoin right now. Or if you're thinking about getting a Ledger wallet, you get up to $80 in free Bitcoin. Also have the link to that deal in the description. But I also have, for both Ledger and Tangent, I have my full step-by-step user guides that show you how to set the wallet up. And this is step-by-step real time, as well as how to send crypto to your wallet from the exchange. So yeah, everything you need to get your wallet, to get a good deal on a wallet, to get some free crypto, and to set it up and transfer crypto to it is literally in the description of this video. That's it, everyone. I got to run. God bless.